welcome to Spaceships and Starwyrms, the stream. Coming at you yet again with these people.
It's us, the people.
Yeah, it's them, the people. I'm Ben Quiggins, your GM. These are my players, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
You didn't say wonderful this time.
Well,
We've lost
I
that
asked
title.
you guys what happened last time, and you told me you didn't remember. So
Hey,
I don't
Ben,
know.
I remembered.
No, I just want to let you know. I watched an episode of Lucifer recently and had this like major deja vu vibe, and I realized it's because the concept of a fake abduction company was in the episode, but it also happened on our stream.
Oh yeah, that was in one of those episodes.
Yep, that's right.
So I was like, it just occurred to me just now when you were like, yeah, Arrow's fan. I was like, oh yeah, the fake abduction.
Yeah,
Creepers
that was
for hire.
horrifying.
Hey, Ben.
But please,
Anyway.
introduce yourselves, and then I'll go into what happened last time.
Okay, I'm Steve, Average Calamities. I play Scarrick, the Bravash roboticist, and his big robot friend, Mars.
Wow, that was
Somebody else
really
go.
speedy.
Hi, I'm Rose or Getty. I play the proxy paladin Twig. My pronouns are she and her. And shout out to the thing that's keeping me sane lately, which is Hades.
Fair enough. What's up, everybody? I'm Aaron. I play the part of... Oh, God, I have the wrong
Did you
bar
forget
sheet
your
out.
character's
I have-
name?
I have the wrong-
Why do you have so many bards?
Which
Ben, I just looked at my sheet and was like, I play Fleetwood. Wait, wrong campaign.
Mac?
Gosh, oh, wow.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
What's up, everybody? I'm Aaron.
Aaron, you're muted. Aaron, you're muted. Aaron, you're
How
muted.
did you mute yourself?
I literally dropped my character sheet on the Discord mute button.
Oh my
There it is.
god.
What's up, everybody? I'm Aaron, or if you know me through my gaming channels, Nano or Nano Boost. I am the super scuffed technical director for this stream. And I play the part
Error.
of Fletcher Scott, also known as Arrow, a late night radio host. And by late night, I mean like very, very late night radio host, and also Bard, who is a diva bard, which is an SNS specific subclass. And I'd like to give a special shout out once again to Campa Creations, my good friend Chris Campa, who made this amazing wood burn dice box for me. Text is backwards for you. Which is an absolute wonderful piece. You can find him, I believe, on Etsy. And
Yeah, Campa
there's-
Creation Studios on Etsy, Facebook, Twitter, Insta.
Yeah, so once again, Chris, I love the box. Thank you so much.
And by late night radio, Aaron really means like incredibly early morning radio.
Yeah, it's like the 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. block.
It's called Midnight Air. Okay.
It is called Midnight Air, but that's a conceit.
Midnight Error.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm Audrey Stoles. I play Ever. She's an Easonite survivalist, Hellion survivalist, which is kind of like a ranger analog if you're coming at this from D&D. I have a few shout outs to give. First and foremost, Nutellarella, Emmy Kelly. She does our character art, and so all the wonderful art that you saw at the beginning of the stream of all of our characters is by Emmy, so definitely check her out. She does great work. Aaron did Campa Studios, and I actually don't think I have anybody else this week except for Hey Funky Games. Thanks for being a great content partner and promotional partner. Definitely check them out. And that's all I have. So
I'd like
Ben,
to give a personal shout out to Nozarashi1993 in the chat. Well, I do believe I know who you are. Very good friend of mine. Big fan of a terrible band that I was once in. For letting me know that I was super echoey on the stream because when I unmuted myself, I enabled 2 audio tracks. So we are
Oh,
off
rip.
to a great start tonight. So nowhere to go but up, Ben. So take it away.
Well, with an introduction like that. Okay, so last time you guys were just coming off of the tail end of assisting Oswin, the Bravash scientist who wanted to gather some crystallized dark matter from that asteroid. You had some adventures there in which Some of you made perhaps a Star Drake friend. I guess we'll find out in the future. But you eventually found yourselves at the man, I want to say the Watch Museum, but I know it's more specific than that. It's
The
the
Museum of Wristwatches.
wristwatches. Yes, wristwatches specifically.
Museum wristwatches.
Look,
It's
I
the
was
only
looking
reason
for the
people watch this
word.
stream. I can't believe that
The
you
only
don't remember
reason.
it.
The only reason.
We have 7 viewers, and they are all here for the Museum of Wristwatches.
Correct.
3 of them are us.
Aaron is dead.
I'm fine.
Made
I'm
him
good.
spit water. It's fine. It's good.
Classy. So you guys went to the Museum of Wristwatches, where Arrow was attacked and attempted kidnapping by a rather burly-looking human man who happened to be invisible to all the cameras somehow and escaped. You guys got a license plate and a description of a car, and then we got into the session yesterday where, while you were investigating that particular license plate and car fiasco, and who could have been responsible, you guys also went to look for a local homeless woman who is also a friend of Twig. Yes, thank you, Getty. I'm sorry. I
You
swear
having some name times?
I'm having some bad name times
You
today.
could just look at the stream.
I could, I guess, attempt to look at the stream. You know, when you put it like that, it all sounds so apparent. But yeah, so you guys went to go look for Silky, and while you were in the park, you all had some quality time with Watcher, a Ix who sits in the park and sometimes spouts random prophecies to people about their futures. And you got a couple little bit of nuggets before you followed the leads to a recently renovated and opened like hookah bar, basically, where not
I
only
am
did you
pretty sure you described it as a bar where there are a lot of illicit substances.
well, not on the surface, but yes. On the surface, they like to present themselves as a completely above board business
For tax reasons.
for tax reasons.
Oh my gosh.
But you guys went inside. You did some further looking around. You did find Silky, who is like half unconscious, and probably had been for at least a day. But not only
That's
that,
not good.
Sorry.
you also found, or rather, Arrow ran into a man who looked exactly like the guy who tried to hold him up and kidnap him. After a very short combat,
Sometimes you roll hot. I don't know.
you guys took the guy down, and you also
Caused
Talk-
widespread property damage.
widespread property damage. You also
Hell
talked to his lady friend who was there with him, and what you found out was that one of Arrow's very, very obsessed fans had paid for a kind of like a kidnapping company, which requires usually consent on all ends, according to their paperwork. But Arrow's signature was forged. And this kidnapping company owned the car that was seen at the wristwatch I almost said factory, the wristwatch museum. But when Olive Tasker, the peacekeeper, showed up, and you guys interviewed the guy and talked a little bit, you found out that he claims he was not in that building. He doesn't even own the gun or any firearm.
He was
'Cause-
just in the car.
He was in the car, and when all of the museum alarms went off, he sped off because he got freaked out. Which means that, according to him at least, the dude who held you up in the museum was not him.
Ooh.
And that's about where we left off. Olive was going to take that guy down to the station for some questioning. And said, basically asked Arrow whether or not he was interested in pressing charges on the two of them. So that's something you can think about. You don't have to give me an answer right now, whether
Yeah.
or not Arrow would do that. But the rest of you guys and Silky were standing out front of the damaged hookah place with a very concerned, what do you call the person who hostess? I guess.
Yeah.
Maitre d',
guess,
don't know,
yeah.
hostess.
Hostess
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Retail
Uh,
employee.
A very concerned hostess who was going to run in there with a gun before ever politely was just like, "You probably don't want to do that."
Thank you, Ever. She definitely would have shot at me.
She probably would have, yeah.
I took her gun. Okay, so it's
Yep,
fine.
it did happen.
You say that,
Uh,
Getty, but I'm pretty sure Arrow's the one that just broke like a wall down in here.
I have my gun out is the thing. Silky, that sandwich?
Right, sandwich. How? Yes, we can have a sandwich.
Oh, that's right. Didn't we go to Space Waffle House?
It's where
Not
you're
yet.
headed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys head down the road into a small diner. Where you get a table and sorry, I was looking at a message there. So you guys head down the road, go into a small diner. You see you grab yourselves a table with Silky, who kind of like goes on the inside of the booth and kind of droops against the window a little bit, like the cool temperature of the glass against her cheek.
We've all been there.
And yeah, I assume you guys order. It's later in the day, so I don't know if you guys are ordering coffee, but as you order the sandwiches you were talking about at least.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's Silky, right?
Silky, yeah.
Yeah, let's see here.
Yeah, to describe Silky again, she's a Hanadarian woman, about 8 feet tall, incredibly thin, more so than the usual Hanadarian, mostly because of lack of nutrition, and her skin and irises and hair, she doesn't dye them like most Hanadarians do, so they're essentially translucent. You can see kind of the muscle work and veins beneath it, and colorless eyes and hair, all wrapped up in like what is essentially just like a robe of rags.
So Silky, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but we were wondering how you were doing, so I came by to see if I could find you.
Oh, well, thank you, Twig. I can always depend on you.
Yeah, how have you been, by the way? I know I haven't been down the street recently. These met up with these lot and they keep me in a lot of trouble, so haven't had as much time as I'd like.
New friends, huh?
Yep. They're good folks. She looks at Arrow.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Arrow's the
Friends.
kind of person that would like open the coffee creamers at the table and like drink them. Like,
She makes this
these are
face.
friends. He's like mid sip, like
What are you doing?
nothing.
Aaron, do you know
Okay.
someone who does that in real life?
Yes.
It's Aaron.
No, it's
Do I
not.
need
It's
to,
not me.
Do I need to hunt them down?
No.
Who is this?
No, it's not me. Listen, I'm not calling anybody out on stream, but I had more than one friend that we used to go to the late night diner, and they would do that. They'd just be like,
That's weird.
creamer time, and shoot creamer.
Creamer time. Oh my
I would do it
god.
for a laugh. I wouldn't do it like
For pleasure.
genuinely. Yeah.
I wouldn't do it genuinely. Well, guess what?
Just for pleasure.
Arrow would do it genuinely because that's the kind of person he is, I guess. So
I guess so.
My blood sugar's low. I need this cream.
Oh my god.
Alas,
okay.
a part of the
But
truth
yeah,
Um,
stays
Twig
within
nods
the
and looks back at her.
Where are we at?
She describes the street.
Swaffle House.
Do you know the place that you were at?
Courtesy Diner.
Not
Yeah,
not really.
Courtesy Diner.
Do you remember how you got there?
Pretty sure I was invited.
Like
Pretty
somebody came
sure.
down and told you that you could hang out there for a bit, or
Yeah.
Free drugs.
They
tell
gave
you,
me a
free
coupon.
drugs.
a coupon?
I think I
Gotcha.
have it somewhere.
Well, Watcher's keeping an eye on your stuff, so it's all still there.
Watcher's good like that. Pulls out a
Watcher's
small
good.
coupon. Oh, they didn't take it from me. Guess that means I can go back.
I wouldn't go back there anytime soon. If maybe lay low for a bit. Just let this whole thing blow over. Let the
What thing?
The repairs. We'll get to that later.
I was. She just kind of chats her up for a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and lets the others eat.
Okay.
And then when she's feeling a little bit more comfortable, she's like, "So, I actually did want to ask you something. Watcher said there was somebody coming around recently, that was like associated with a certain symbol, and I've been kind of looking into it." And she holds up her pad. Do you know what this is? Have you seen it before?
Oh.
I love Getty, and I love Getty's use of props, and I just want to say that on the record for everyone to hear.
Yes.
I've seen that symbol before. Or at least something like it.
Do you remember where at?
I don't remember very many things right now.
She nods.
I know who you're talking about, though. They gave me the coupon. And she holds
That's
up the coupon
kind of what I
again.
figured. Yeah. Well, from what I kind of gathered, the folks with I don't know really what to call them, but the folks with them, they're not the best news. They definitely tried to kill me at one point. So, I'm worried that they didn't have your best interests in mind when they asked you to come there.
Most people don't have my best interests in mind.
I have a just a real
Just
quick
you.
question, Silky.
And Watcher.
Twig laughs. It's okay.
And
No, he's good. She
She
looks.
What did you say, Ever?
I said that I have a real quick question, but if she keeps talking, Ever's not going to repeat herself.
No,
anyway.
no. She stopped and looks at you.
So how often did you see Twig before? I mean, just in general, how often do you see Twig usually?
Twig gives her an eyebrow.
I
Like,
don't.
her eye flashes a little yellow.
Time is ephemeral.
I usually am by the area like every couple days.
Sure,
Dude.
sure. So what I'm getting at is that's a real short list of people that you just said, Silky. And could we perhaps suppose, if we're hypothesizing here, that a person who wanted to give you a coupon for a place with seemingly altruistic intentions, perhaps knowing that you might fall into a stupor or something, right, with substances or whatever, it's a fair bet to say that the only person who would come after you is Twig, right?
Where are you going with this, Ever?
I'm going
I
where
suppose.
Arrow's
Twig
already
and
been
Yee.
targeted, and what if this was just a way to get you somewhere that they wanted?
Well, if it was, they didn't really do anything about it. We just bumped into some randos that were chasing Arrow around. Like, she looks out the window. Unless they want to track us from here, but I feel like they already have their kind of a number on us.
I mean, that's possible,
Yeah.
certainly, but
I suppose if someone like was really trying to get after us, Arrow's like halfway
Would you?
to a giant plate of
Would you
hash
get
browns.
the creamer cup out of your mouth? Why are you drinking that and the hash browns?
There's food here. Ben said there's food here now. He's stuffing his face with hash browns. Moved on from the creamer cups.
You don't top your hash browns with creamer?
Okay, that's not a hill I want to die on. So
So, are you doing something disgusting with the hash browns at least?
no, maybe.
Twig is still judging.
It's fine. Doesn't matter what he does. Twig would judge.
You think?
It's
Ever?
not exactly
Bios.
like we're hard to find. I mean, we're kind of like sticking around with a giant robot everywhere we
Yeah,
go.
but I mean, you're the only one that's like public. Ever you think they could be tracking Silky?
I mean, it's possible. I'm not like a conspiracy theorist or anything, but Arrow has kind of been publicizing all the stuff that we've been doing, and there were, the names getting tossed around when you killed those guys were mine and Twig's names, so
I mean, yeah.
look, it's just an idea. I don't really know where we go from here. I don't know what we can do about it. There wasn't anybody else that I had my eye on in there. Just crazy psycho super fan who somehow thought it was appropriate to try and kidnap a celebrity for her birthday party.
That's the thing
which
I'm
if
still on
that
about.
doesn't scream rich, I don't know what does.
Well, that wasn't who got at you at the museum, I'm pretty sure.
No, it doesn't sound like that, but we don't have any way to find the guy that was at the museum with the actual gun. So,
Well, if you think about it, it has to be somebody who knew that what's her name, Fancy Miss Rich Pants, was going to hire a company to kidnap me for her birthday. Like whoever it is has to have had that info, or I don't know.
they don't have to have had that info. They just have to have seen the guy.
Well, I thought they were the ones that signed you up for it.
Well, someone along the process had to forge my signature because I didn't
why
sign
did
anything.
why did we not talk to her more?
I mean,
What?
If she's really that big of a fan, I don't think we'll have to worry about finding her.
Yeah,
Well-
plus she's at the station right now.
yeah, isn't
if
she
you
at the
wanted to
police
talk to her
station?
more.
Didn't she just
Yeah.
straight up get arrested first?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought the guy was the only one who got arrested.
No, I think they both.
Olive took them both.
Got it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was understanding that once we had this conversation with Silky, we would probably go to the station to have those conversations. With
You're welcome.
I don't
want
want to go to the station.
Yeah, I don't want to go to the police station either.
Well, I don't want to go to work, but you don't see me complain. You see me still doing it. I'm sorry. This
mean-
is the voice gag that I'm gonna do tonight. Is Arrow's
Is
eating
eating.
food the whole time, which is
She
gross,
just makes
and
a
I'm
face
sorry.
at Arrow. Like, I don't know that we're going to get anything super useful out of her. I could be wrong, but
I mean, if someone forged his signature, it probably wasn't her. It would be
No.
worth asking the guy or someone else at the company that had hands on the paperwork, maybe. But that's really the only thing we got to go off of. So it's either someone forging
She-
his signature or someone pretending to be him because he's a radio host, so who the hell knows what he looks like? You know?
She said she forged his signature. Like she admitted to it.
Oh, did she? Oh, she
Yeah.
admitted that she was the one who. Oh.
Yeah, she forged your signature.
And then she doesn't need my autograph, then, does she?
So
Well, it was a digital signature, so
Well,
not too difficult to forge.
fair. Copy pasta.
so
What are you doing?
Huh.
That's causing trouble. Yeah.
then that means our biggest lead is
It means we're at dead ends. We got nothing. We got nowhere else to go. Nothing to
Well-
go off of.
we still have the tech. Theoretically, This guy has at least 2 different kinds of tech. That's pretty specific. Tech that
the hide
changes
in
your
from cameras
face.
thing is pretty rough, right?
Tech that
But here's
hides
the
you
thing:
from
what if
cameras.
it's not tech? What if it's just magic?
It could
That's
be
harder to
magic, I
trace.
guess. I was assuming it was technology because it was interfacing with the cameras, and Arrow is still able to see him. Like an invisibility skip bell, that would be like
Invisibility works on cameras,
right, but Arrow wouldn't have seen him.
right?
Okay. 2 things. One, these are the best hash browns you get on this.
Would you swallow?
I am done. The plate is empty.
Jeez.
Okay? The best hash browns you can get on this side of the station. Second of all, I know we're kind of at these dead ends here. So I got a psychotic fan, and I think we all agree it was probably not a great idea for me to start broadcasting out our adventures over the airwaves, over the radio for some cheap fans. But you know what? That's where we are now, and it's kind of too hard to go back because I may or may not have
It
an
is
agreement.
not. It is not that hard to go back. Take the videos down.
Well, hear me out here. Hear me out.
Nope.
No, I'm not hearing you out. I did
No.
not give you
Okay.
permission to use my
Oh, are
image.
you about to suggest that we use your radio station to like bait them out or something silly?
Yes, absolutely.
So it was something we talked about earlier, and I wanted to know what the plan was, but we're kind of at this dead end, and I don't want to get shot again, so...
Wait, you
So
got
we
shot?
have somebody else pretend to be you.
Almost. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. You said it was the plan to use me as bait, so tell me what that plan is. We wanted to broadcast something out and
I
make
mean,
sure
that
somebody
plan
knows.
is that we make up a fake job that we're not really doing, and we tell people on the air, we fabricate a conversation or some shit about this job and where we're going to be when, and then we send you there.
And then we find out whoever was trying to do what, and we catch them, right?
Sure, yeah.
No, I think it's easier. We can you go live again, Arrow.
Like actually
But
live.
yeah, from the station
Okay.
for another
That's
late
not...
night ordeal. Talk about how it's so boring around there. Make them think that nobody else is there with you,
I'm sorry. I'm
but we're there.
I
So,
love scared so much.
that's actually not a bad idea.
So you're saying you would just
It's
like...
better than a random place.
Yeah.
Are you ready to commit massive property damage at a third location that may or may not be where you are employed right now?
Well,
Arrow?
Yes.
joke's on you.
Oh,
I'm
him.
insured
Yeah.
there, so...
They
Anything that
insured you
happens,
for the mob trying to do a hit on you?
I don't know, but maybe...
It's either that or, well, I guess we could do it anywhere we set up the ambush, but we could lead them to my shop
Do it
and
at
totally
Maury's.
just home alone them.
We're not doing it at Maury's. The chance of civilian casualties there, Twig, I can't believe you'd even suggest it.
I was joking.
Well,
The
Rich comes
civilian
from the grenades.
casualties would be from when my mother finds out part of her shop is destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot he was with us.
Yes, he is.
If we're
I
if
forgot
we're looking
to.
for somewhere, where there's not a whole lot of foot traffic, my place is, basically a storage unit.
Well,
Yeah, but then we gotta publicize the address
The
of your
address.
place. So it kind of seems like...
Well,
the
I don't
station
care
might
if you're gonna
be-
find us a cool lair.
That was a theoretical discussion we had. Can we just agree that the
A lair?
station is the best place?
okay, I'll agree to 2 things. One,
Sure.
the station is probably the best place. And 2, this conversation about the layer is not over. I want to make sure that we all have equal voices in whatever set up for our headquarters. But anyway, back to the radio station thing. I
Do you know how expensive space is on this station? They can't just make more.
No, Twig, I have no concept of money. You know what I make. I'm a radio host at 2 a.m. What do you think?
Oh my god.
So, I don't know. Well, I know the station's got some stuff, but I'm pretty sure on the ground floor, if you want to set it up, I mean, the building's empty anyway, but if we wanted to make it as easy as possible, I think there's a blank hall where nobody really uses it. They can set up shop in there and just make it so whoever wants to come in can just come in the front door and minimize property damage.
Great. Let's do it tonight.
What? Like tonight? Tonight? Like you talking like in 6 hours tonight?
Like, yes. Yes.
Are you gonna help
Twig
move
pulls
stuff?
out her phone to check if she has night shift or not.
Let me check my schedule. Let me see if I'm off.
Let me see if I'm free to help you trap a villain.
I'll just call in. It's fine.
Not to mention,
Oh
I'm
my
pretty
gosh.
sure, Ben, I'm totally riffing, by the way, so feel free to step in and say, stop it.
So Jihyun says, well, if you guys are gonna go prepare that, then I guess I can get Silky back to her place and settle her back in.
I'd appreciate that, Jun.
Hey, Silky, you mind if we keep that coupon?
Yeah, I suppose.
Ben, there is no way it's a paper coupon
No,
in this poor part of the station.
It
So
is
please
not.
tell me what type of coupon this is.
it looks like a little metal rectangle essentially. It's not like it's about the size and shape of a USB drive, but it's not actually like a slottable thing.
Is it like a pressed coin? Like a
Yeah,
piece of scrap
kind
metal
of.
that's been like pressed or something?
It has like a QR code basically imprinted on one side of it.
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah, but it was probably made from scrap metal.
sure.
Oh boy. I got a call my boss. He's not going to be happy about this.
You're gonna tell him?
Ben, I'm going to have Arrow call the his boss, producer.
Wait, hold
Alright.
on. Arrow?
Give me a
What?
second. Give me a second.
You're gonna tell him?
No, just listen.
Hold on, I gotta remember which one your boss is.
Yeah, one of us has to because I don't have my notes in
which-
front of me.
Which one are you calling? Are you calling Riff or are you calling Veneer?
I'm pretty sure I'm calling Riff because Riff's the one who just called about love the ratings. Things are great. Keep it up.
Yeah, that's Riff.
Yeah, that's Riff. So
Okay.
Arrow's gonna call Riff. Beep.
Hello, this is Riff. Play the music to me.
Riff, hey, it's Arrow. I wanted to run
Oh.
something by you real quick. Get your thoughts on it.
What do you need?
So as Arrow's making like pained eye contact with all the judgmental eyes at this table while this conversation is going on, by the way. So the show's been doing really good lately, and things are going well. I had a lot of increased traffic. I
It
was
sure has.
really hoping I had an idea to really capitalize on that hype. Thinking about
Uh-huh.
doing like a special variety stream tonight. And,
Okay.
I thought maybe it would make sense to have a little more extra space. The south wing of the building out on the ground floor, it's got nothing in there. What do you say? You think you could talk to the upper ups and see if I can get access to that tonight?
The bigger space, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I could try to talk to Veneer. They might go for it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it's been a lot of activity, and this will give me the opportunity to have some more space. I can move some gear around. It'd be a temporary thing. I'm not looking to upgrade
What
the
do you
space.
What do you need the space for?
Thinking about possibly having guests.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Now this isn't like Professor Deep Knowledge from that video game group that you're
no.
in, is it?
No. Deep Knowledge. He's on the ban list. I understand that. We were not gonna do. It was a one-time thing. He's gone. I'm not worried about it. No. This would be more like those people around this Kesty station have been listening in and writing, and I just think it'd be a good opportunity for us, to get the brand face out there. Just like make it nice and easy. All I have to do is we'll keep the doors unlocked, and I can have maybe a couple of my security associates that I work with and have them there with me just in case, and people can come in and I can do spot interviews and get
Twig
people
mouths
engaged with the station.
security at him.
Twig's Arrow's just like, I don't know.
So,
I'm
all
telling
right,
you,
well-
if this goes off really well, like just hear me out, Riff. If this goes off really well, this could, it might be a pretty big publicity thing for us, and I know that
do we need to do this in like a daytime slot? Because
no.
bringing normal off the street guests at 2 a.m. seems.
That's why it's gonna work, Riff. Hear me out. Like that's part of the charm. is it's the late night crew. It's the Red Eyes. Everyone here
Uh-huh.
is, they're in it, and it's going to be exciting. And not to mention, if we get something crazy, it could, we always slap it on the record feed, and people will wake up in the morning and say, "Oh my gosh, you hear what happened on the radio last night?" And everybody's talking about it on their way to work. It's a win-win, So let's get that space.
Roll persuasion.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I was wondering when
man.
you were going to cut me off. Oh, hey. It's a good thing I've got a lot. That's 22 total.
Well, I'll see what Banir says and get back to you, all right?
Hey, you're the best. I just,
If not tonight, maybe tomorrow.
okay. If not tonight, maybe tomorrow. Makes eye contact with Ever. We'll see. It'll be a great idea. Thanks for having my back on this. Appreciate it.
I'll give you a call back soon, all right?
Sounds good, Chief. Later.
Keep up the good work.
Click.
Wow, you really had no plan for that phone call, did you?
It worked out. I feel pretty good. About how that went. So he'll give me a call back, and we do the plan, I guess. By the way, this is gonna be safe for me, right? Like, you guys will be there. You're not gonna leave me alone in a sound booth for me to get stabbed or anything, right?
No.
Well, they did
no.
seem to want to talk to you alive outside of the museum, so
That's a good point.
it'll be fine.
I'm gonna plan to do like a 5-minute buffer just in case, something happens. So, I don't get
Oh, 5 minutes. 5 minutes to fight the mob.
I
Well,
mean, you're
technically-
still
Do we,
assuming that it's the mob. It might not be. Like,
Yeah.
It's somebody who is associated with the billiards. Like,
right. Well,
so
if
at
it
least
was
they have
associated
interest.
with the billiards, they probably would go after you. So,
Right, but they aren't for some reason.
Hey, Arrow.
Yeah.
If you need a little more ammunition for bargaining with your bosses, tell them we're shooting a video piece.
Oh.
You thought that everyone liked the story so much that they might like a little video action, and we're just gonna, make stuff up.
I gotta start asking you about your ideas before I get on these phone calls. That's good. Yeah, we'll see what Riff says, and if he doesn't think that's enough, push him off the edge. I'm sure we could talk. We could figure it out. It'll be good. It'll be great. Anyway, I'm completely nervous and panicked about this whole thing, and I'm just full steam ahead. I'm not gonna think about the consequences of our actions here. So, I have
Do
a lot
you
of
usually do that?
Okay, first of all, rude. Second,
Not when not when Thunderwave's involved.
self-defense. I'm still
yeah,
getting used to
alright,
this whole
so,
magic thing.
Here's the thing. Do we go to the station now, assuming that we're going to get permission and scope it out and whatever, and maybe tip our hand if we're being followed right now, which odds are yes? Or do we all just go our separate ways like we might normally, and Arrow just lets us know if things are a go?
I mean, I'm not leaving Arrow alone.
I
so.
wouldn't leave Arrow alone. Not right now.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we might as well go stop by the station.
Yeah. And if y'all want to go your separate ways, then at least I'll be at the Peacekeeper station, so possibly safe from there.
No,
We've
wait,
never
are we
really
talking about
taken
the
a
radio
good-
station or the police station?
No, I was talking about the radio station. We've never really got a good survey of that area.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Scarrick, I bet you could pull up blueprints.
I'm sure I can, but that's you should know that blueprints and eyesight are not the same thing.
I know. I just mean that's a good preliminary idea of what we're dealing with. We can mark entries and exits at least.
Sure.
I do have a key to the front door. If you guys want to go over there, we can just go over there.
Once again, I'm going to say this. I think we're being followed, and I think that's a bad idea.
What if I go back there and share some video with. I don't know. My brain hurts. This is a lot has
I
happened
mean,
today.
Twig doesn't want to leave you alone, so.
I'm not gonna leave you alone. So yeah, I can be your security if you're gonna pass me off to your boss.
Well, if we
So-
all go
You
our separate
hire
ways.
Twig as your
Look, I
personal
do-
bodyguard.
I do a great. She like
Yeah,
Does
that's really
this-
intimidating.
does the
so
pose.
definitely.
then she
Definitely
like
great.
purses her lips like.
Well, if we all go our
That's the
separate
whole
ways, I'll just go with Twig because I've got a bag at her place, so we can just go and lay low until we get a phone call back and go from there.
Ever's comm starts to buzz.
Uh-oh.
Who is it?
It's Maury.
It's Maury. Okay.
Mhm.
I pick up Go Forever.
Hey, Ever, how's it going?
Not great, Maury. What's up?
Well, I hope I've got good news for you then.
Uh-huh.
I have a lead on a job with some actual cash on the end.
That sounds great. What is it?
Well, I'm not really supposed to say too much over an open line like this, but
Do you need us to
basically
come in?
that would probably be helpful. What I can say is that our client thinks that without some extra help, an innocent person's probably gonna, well, be arrested.
All right.
Or is it
Uh,
convicted? I'm pretty sure. Maybe they're already
I-
arrested. I'm not really sure.
Arrested just means in the custody of the peacekeepers. Convicted means they've sat trial and been found guilty. Okay.
Arrested but not convicted yet.
Right. Okay. I will run it by everybody, and we'll see you at the shop.
I hope you guys are all right.
We're
Jihyun
fine.
texted
Just-
me and said that you found your the missing person.
Yeah, and she's fine, and it's great. It's fantastic. So no worries on that. Just negotiating some deals with the radio station.
Wait. Hold on. You're negotiating deals for publicity without
No,
me
that's
involved
not
to
what I.
help
You can
facilitate.
take that up with Arrow. All right. We'll see you in a little bit, Maury. And I hang up.
Oh no.
Maury has another job for us, one that's actually going to pay, and apparently it's something to do with someone or another who's innocent but is being charged with some crime or something. So guess what? I just solved the problem of what we're going to do until we hear back from Arrow's boss about what we are doing at the station.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, Arrow pays the tab. Scarrick slaps the table and stands up.
Well, how much did Scarrick eat? That's the question.
A lot,
Like 4 plates?
at least.
He had like 6 chicken fried steaks.
Oh my god. In a stack with gravy between each one?
It was like a stack of pancakes, but chicken fried steaks.
What, they were chicken fried steaks?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna have to make that now on
No.
stream.
An executive at
Please do
Cracker Barrel
not.
just had an idea.
I'm
not gonna
eat it. Yeah, the bill is like 30 credits.
Ah. I'm remembering this one. He pays the tab.
Okay. All right. So you guys head out.
All right. Do we walk? I guess we walk.
I mean, you take public transportation if you wanted to.
Oh, that's right. I imagine every time we do public transportation, because we have Mars with us, it's like riding in the caboose storage,
Mhm.
like holding onto
Yep.
the handrail, which honestly is probably nice because we get to talk.
All right. So you guys make your way back to Maury's, I guess. Any stops on the way? No. Okay.
Do we want to stop for your bag, or
Oh,
we'll just leave it at my place?
yeah,
No worries,
your
it's
place.
fine.
No, it's I kid you not. It's got like one flip flop, a couple pairs of shorts, and a t-shirt in it.
You
It's not well. It's not a good bag.
One
Kenny.
flip flop.
It's yeah. that's-
One, only a single flip flop.
Yeah. The other flip flops at the radio station.
A lonely flip flop. So you guys arrive back at Castiano Bottle and head inside. There's a few tourists wandering around the floor, and you see Jihoon's sister basically manning the desk. Young, that's her name. I'm terrible with names today. Whew.
What's her name again?
Young.
Young.
Yep. And she kind of motions you guys to the back room, at your leisure. Back there, you find Mori, who's like sitting at her personal desk, typing away at her computer furiously, while having like her comm open and chatting and say, No, that space isn't gonna work for us. A top floor? Really? Like a loft? Rife with potential danger. We need like a basement.
Maury, are you lair shopping?
Huh? Oh, I'll talk to you later, alright, dear? Alright, I'll talk, but get me the basement. Either
Did you,
and closes the call.
did you just
Hey!
hang up on a real estate agent?
Oh, me and her go way back.
No. See, here's the thing. Maury is the real estate agent.
Yeah, me and her go way back. Don't worry about it. She's just playing a little bit of hard and fast with me. But I'm telling you, like, we don't want some dinky studio loft for your guys' lair. That will not do for the custodians.
Shopping
That's
for this
right.
under eight. This is
Though
irrelevant to our conversation.
I guess if you did the loft, we could put like a neon sign.
Why are we
Hey,
calling
Maury.
it a lair and not like a headquarters?
I just want to say something really quickly, please.
Yeah.
Who asked you to do this?
We did.
No, we didn't. You, Scarrick, asked me to find us a place in an abandoned building where we could meet up safely if we wanted to, not some place that we're gonna have to pay hundreds of credits in rent for and furnish. And we don't make enough money off of this to do that.
It's also public, so we can't even really trust it's a safe place.
It's true. If I'm finding some abandoned place for us, we're the only ones who have to know about it.
While this
Yeah,
conversation
no,
is happening,
that's our real lair. This is our public lair.
We don't need a
Where?
public lair. People are already coming through Mori to give us jobs. Also, lair really, I agree with Arrow on this. It sounds really
Headquarters.
bad to call it a lair.
we should call it a headquarters, right? We should call it a base of operations.
Right.
Sure.
I just thought I would help you out. Help you out. You're busy. You're doing stuff, and
You don't really give us the opportunity to decide whether or not we're too busy to do a thing before you do it, Maury.
fair. I suppose we did just have this conversation this morning.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Look, you've got a lot of enthusiasm, and that's great. But like, let's just focus on.
I
the
just
job
want to
part
know.
of it and not
She like
the-
she looks over
money.
at Everett. She's like, I just want to know how long Maury's wanted like a personal team of mercenaries
We
to
do
go
seem
do
a little
jobs
bit like
for
a
her.
personal project, Maury.
Yeah, because it does seem like this is all like gung ho on this. A bunch of
Merch
stuff laid out,
And
pre-planned,
public-facing lair.
just
and
ready to go at the
you
first sign of an opportunity.
Talking about Arrow's show is bad enough.
I just look. It's not that I'm sitting here waiting for a bunch of mercenaries to come join a team and make me their manager or anything. It's more like when I see an opportunity, my circuits are hardwired for me to go after the opportunity. And you guys got something here. There's an opportunity to be had. and I'm just trying to help you grasp it fully. And honestly, if I'm being totally honest with you, I'd like to be along for the ride.
All right. Yeah.
Let's just keep it
Well, you
with
better
your,
hold on tight, Maury.
Let's just keep it at
Scary.
your
There's
hand
justice
list
to be
now.
served.
All right.
What? What? Are you a superhero now? Scarrick?
We're about to go free an innocent person, right?
You don't have to have superpowers.
Yeah, what's
Maybe
going on
we
with
haven't
that?
heard the.
She turns around and does this look at Arrow.
I mean,
All
To do
right.
what?
All right.
To do what, Arrow?
I'm not gonna.
Do you want to finish that
I'm not gonna vindicate you with anything.
sentence?
No, I'm done.
How done is done.
I'm done.
I'm very done. All right. Well, so I got a call from we'll call them a friend of mine in the form of my typical defense attorney. And one you ever heard of Pollo?
Pollo?
Like chicken?
Have you heard of Pollo?
yeah,
it means chicken.
chicken.
No. Pollo stripapinilla.
Aaron,
Chicken with
That-
I
rice?
cannot believe our brain went the same place.
I know, right? I'm sorry.
She's
Wait, who?
She's
That
a
was a-
Saguaran lawyer.
Oh wait, hold on.
Sure.
Like the big shot lawyer.
The
Maury,
local
unlike
big shot
you, I try to
defendant.
stay out of the legal system.
Well,
so
okay, listen. Lawyers do a lot of radio ads, okay? That's why I recognize the name. It's not like because I'm in legal trouble. People can know things, okay, ever?
And in
I was
fact,
talking to Maury, not you, Arrow. But that's good to know too.
Oh,
Pollo definitely has ads on your show
oh, yeah.
for her business specifically because or sorry, for his business because he specifically advertises to very low income people as a defense attorney.
I see.
But she says yeah, so Pollo came to me and needs a little bit of extra help. He's got a case that's kind of mounting out of his control, and he could really use a group of eyes on the ground to do a little bit of independent investigating.
Is this we're going to wind up testifying in court situation?
Yeah.
Well, that could be possible. It is definitely a possibility. But hey, if you can find, like literally any proof of this guy's story that he's trying to prove, I think it would go a long way.
And you believe the lawyer, right? The client is actually innocent, or
Well,
is that just the case they're trying to prove?
I mean, I guess technically it's the case Pollo's trying to prove, but Pollo ain't exactly known for taking cases that he don't believe the person's innocent.
Just asking.
Like, even for me, I don't hire Pollo unless I actually didn't do the thing.
Mhm.
it's, it's such a terrible thing to say. I only hire this lawyer when I'm actually innocent, and I know that I am. If I did it,
All right.
it's different.
He's got a really weird, like, sense of being able to tell when people are lying. Something to do with, like, pheromones or something.
Do you even give off pheromones, Maury?
Well, no, but it's like magical stuff. I don't know. Maybe
just
he's just
asking.
really good at telling, and I'm just, theorizing, throwing stuff into the dark.
All right. When do we meet Pollo?
Well, Pollo's at his office right now. Apparently they were at the crime scene this morning, and looks like the prosecution is, well, being kind of a butt.
That's a technical term.
It's a
It's a technical
it's
term.
a interesting phrasing. Okay.
Part of the legal
Is that a
process, I
legal
guess.
a legal description?
Yeah, I mean they're keeping Poyo from really being able to investigate the site. Is all.
All right. Okay. Well, let's go talk to Poyo then, y'all.
All right. To the law office we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, while they travel to the law office, we're gonna travel on a break for was it 20 minutes, 15 minutes?
An amount of time that's listed that I forgot about.
Oh
We'll be back
boy!
in 15 to 20 minutes, you
It's
guys.
15 to 20 minutes. We'll see you guys soon,
Yep.
and when we do, they'll be at Poyo's office.
But first, a word from our sponsor.
Wow.
Hey you, on the couch. Are you looking for sweet video game playthroughs and content? Well, you're in luck because it's coming soon to VHS cassette. Wow. When's the last time you watched something totally awesome? Hold on to your gaming chair. Contains bonus scenes and features. Explosions, prizes, gold, victories, not victories. Funky videos are all that in a bag of chips. Booyah! Sweet! Just connect to the World Wide Web and a world of totally awesome video game content is at your fingertips. Wow! Now available on Home Funky Video.
And we're back.
Hello, welcome back.
Thanks, Ben.
You're welcome.
I was expecting you to talk for another minute.
Stopped. Just left it there,
I love
hanging in the air.
It's like when somebody leaves my Discord voice call and then they come back and I'm like, yo, hey.
Well, okay. All right, fair enough. But you guys have arrived at Pollo the lawyer's office. What's the initials that the lawyers had at the end of their degree? It's not MD. It's not PhD.
Does it matter?
I'm
Would it be the
trying to
same in the
remember.
Nakora Galaxy?
Just trying to remember. For simplicity's sake, Audrey, yes.
Well,
Anyways.
Great. Now my
You
search
guys-
history is going to have lawyers near me.
You guys knocked on the door, and Pollo motioned for you guys to come inside, and by that I mean they pressed a button and their voice went over the intercom saying, "It's unlocked. Come on in." Inside the office is pretty small. This is like one of those singular offices in like an office farm kind of place, where there's a lot of privately owned or small businesses that have a bunch of offices all on the same floor with each other and have no real connection to one another, but have kind of a shared space renting situation. You guys head inside and you see this big like impressionist art relief on the wall of like a gorgeous desert landscape. One side of the room with like a waiting chair, a bookshelf on the other side of the room, though very sparsely filled with only a few books. Most of the stuff on there seems to be like equipment, like computer equipment and stuff. And then there's the main desk with the chairs on either side, and you see Pollo. None of you have met Pollo in person, though I suppose Arrow has heard Pollo in his ads for his business. And you see him kind of perched in a chair that seems a little too big for his frame, standing a little over 4 feet tall as a Saguaran. For those of you who are new to SNS, the Saguaran are a cactus people. They have a facsimile of a mouth, which they can use to produce the sounds that mouths can produce, but they also store things in there. They don't really use it to eat, so... and their eyes are also a little bit different than most more mammalian-based creatures, being these two sunken holes with sensors in them. But he's dressed in a fine dark suit and has the flowers arranged on his head in these like neat blue rows of flowers, and smiles at you guys as you come in. Say, you'll be the custodians, right? Maury's folk?
That's us.
Yeah, we are. Custodians at your service.
I'm relieved I was able to get you at such short notice. I figure you guys are probably pretty busy these days.
Well, we were in the area between jobs.
Lucky me. Well, come in, sit down. Can I get you anything to drink? I've got 4 different areas of water.
what are they?
Well, I've got groundwater from the nearby frontier world F374. Then I've got groundwater from a well that was pulled and purified on Kygor. Then I've got purified well water from a system in one of the GC space stations nearby. And then, for special occasions, I've got some honeyed water from one of the passing hope seeds.
I will pass, but thank you for
Yeah,
your kind offer.
I'm very well hydrated. I'm okay. Thank you, though. The offer is fantastic. Arrow's like, I can't afford any of this.
Yeah, I stopped paying attention halfway through that. I'm sorry. I'll take whatever you'd recommend.
Of course, of course. We wanted a glass or a bowl? Wait, I'm sorry. You wanted it in a glass. Takes one of the jugs, starts pouring it into a like a pewter
Does he say
glass.
a bowl because Seguarn poured into a bowl and stick their feet
Put
in
their
it to
feet
drink
in
it?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's about to do. After he passes the pewter cup to Scarix, takes out a bowl. Like he leans down, pulls up a bowl from near his feet,
Oh my gosh.
fills it with water.
Also,
So-
Raz, in the chat, just so you know, we haven't used Arrow as bait yet.
Yes.
But
That's
we will.
plan.
You're joining us in
Right
the
now,
second
they're
half.
planning on it.
It's going to happen. We're filling in time. We'll wait till we get permission from Arrow's boss to use an empty studio space to,
That we're gonna fucking wreck.
yeah, most likely totally destroy.
The thing is, we keep talking about property damage, but I do want it to be known that Arrow's the only person who has caused massive property damage so far
That's
in
true.
two separate locations.
That is true.
I mean, didn't we blow up a base? Wasn't that all of us?
No,
Was not us.
we thought it was a bomb countdown, but
Oh, that's
there was no
right.
explosion.
We escaped it.
That's right.
There's no explosion.
it was a-
although,
It was an implosion. It consumed
yeah,
the
the
area.
base is gone. It's just
The
nothing.
base
Completely
and all the
collapsed.
people that we left unconscious in it.
We can't
gone.
be
Just
held
the big bad.
responsible. But anyway, we're in
Only
a
one of
lawyer's
them
office.
was left behind. You saved everybody else.
Yeah, we saved everyone.
Was that the boss?
The
Yeah, the
bathroom
boss.
guy. The bathroom guy was the only one left behind.
I thought we saved the bathroom people.
You saved all the people trapped in the bathroom.
Yeah, we went back,
Okay.
remember? Because, yeah,
Yeah.
we saved them. It's just the big bad. that
Used
we were
the
like,
axe as a.
Yeah, I
It's
think
just
we
the big
accidentally
bad.
killed them.
The big bad died in the fighting, so
Yeah.
Liza in the chat says, look, Arrow, if you're going to break shit, you might as well level ground. Come on, bud.
Yeah.
So you're right. Yeah. Go big or go home. Arrow, who's
oh my gosh.
very new to this idea of wielding magic. He's not what you'd call a well-trained magic user, but he's got potential for it. Sometimes doesn't know that self-control. So, anyway, y'all are having some nice water.
Yep. Puts the bowl down. Well, thank you again for coming. I assume this means you took the job, right?
Yeah.
We want to know more about the case. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I need you guys to sign a contract of what's the word? I'm looking for?
Non-disclosure?
Yes, a non-disclosure agreement. Because technically the proceedings are private at this time. So I need you to be under my firm's non-disclosure agreement.
I'm not testifying in court for whatever comes up. We can have Maury do it or somebody else on the team, but I'm not doing it.
Okay. I will mark that in your contract then.
Great.
Your people talk to our people.
Does anybody else not want to testify in court?
Oh, me, please. No, thank you.
Okay.
Me never.
I could testify for them.
All right, we've got a volunteer.
Signs the bottom line.
You sure you don't want any water? Slides the papers over.
In for a penny, in for a pound. Yes. Yeah.
Take the water out.
Yeah, some of that well water from the local place sounds pretty good.
All right.
I won't deny it a second time. He signs
Pours,
3 different
sets
pieces
another
of paper.
pewter cup down. It's just a basic non-disclosure.
Yeah, just basically.
And once that's taken care of, Poyo says, okay. My client is a young woman named Vali Rathan. She has been arrested for the murder of her boss.
Oh.
Yes. Her boss is Arkelian Motelia, a member of let's see, the Avo Galactic War Museum. Got a lot of museums on this station, if you didn't notice. Part of our tourism.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. Well, it's
A little dry.
a little dry, but it's a pretty important place, and happens to have a huge glut of knowledge about the various past conflicts that have racked the Nakora Galaxy. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I'm sure you all know that. Anyways, her boss was one of the curators of the new wing that was supposed to open up there in about a week. But now that wing is probably not going to get opened up. It is on permanent suspension.
And how did he die? Her boss?
I'm sorry. Who sent me this message? Her boss is R. Kelly.
You're just saying the boss's name again.
It sounded like her boss is R.
Just say it
Kelly.
again. Just say it again.
Kellian.
Arkelian. Arkelian.
Ark. Sure. All right. Got it. Sorry. This is the first
Kelly.
thing I thought of.
R. Kellyan. It's R. Kellyan. Right? R. Kellyan.
Yes. Like Ark E. Leon.
Arkelian.
Arkelian.
R. Kellyan.
So how did Arkelian die?
What was the
Got peed
what was
on.
the wing he was opening up?
No!
Also, is that a pun?
Oh,
Wait.
what?
I said, what was
Because
the wing of the museum he was curating, and also is calling it a wing a pun because it's the the Avon Museum.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
no, it wasn't particularly a pun. It's just what they call it. It was the West
Sure,
Wing of
yeah.
the museum.
Inappropriate to ask. I get it.
Well, I mean, I'm not an Avon, so I guess it could be. I don't know. Anyways,
You can make a little fun ever, considering the history.
Yeah, well, it's a murder case, so I didn't really know, Moya-wise, if that's what we wanted to be joking about.
right.
So,
well, better to
how-
joke about the fact they call it a wing than about the murder.
Right. Which was.
Oh, right. So it happened yesterday, and things look pretty damning, I gotta admit. For poor Vali. We've got witness testimony, we've got cameras, fingerprints. Honestly, the evidence is pretty well stacked against her.
But
But you think she's innocent somehow?
I think she's innocent.
Would you
you
care to
have anything to-
elaborate on that?
yeah.
Waiting for the shoe to drop on this one. Bud.
Ever's just like, for God's
Testimony,
sake,
cameras, yeah, they got it all. It's pretty much a done deal.
this
Shut
case
and
is
close.
fucked. I'm not gonna tell you how you can help.
I am trying here. Give me a second. All right. The truth of the matter is, her alibi holds up. There's also witnesses corroborating her alibi that she was not on site at the time the murder took place.
All right, so then
Hold on a second.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna throw something out there, Arrow, and you tell me how this sounds. You tell me if this sounds like something familiar, maybe.
All right, all right, all right.
So we just came off of a thing where there was this guy that threatened Arrow, and then we tracked him down, and he had no friggin' clue what we were talking about, despite looking identical to the guy that threatened Arrow. And he also had people corroborating that it wasn't him. This
And-
sounds kind of like exactly the same thing.
Not
Someone
even
looks like her.
corroborating. It's not even corroborating. It's pretty solid evidence. So what you're telling us is you've got somebody who looks like somebody but isn't somebody, and that somebody's taking the fall for somebody else because that somebody looked identical, even though the alibis check out. So Ever, I'm painting what you're priming here, and I do think there's something funny going on. And I'm
Y'all are
thinking,
jumping to some
If we're s-
conclusion.
If we are sharing the same brain cells here, I'm pretty sure these things could
I'm
be
not
connected.
a cellular organism.
That's not the point.
Well,
come on.
We I think we need to know a little more about Arkelian and what he did.
What do you mean what he did?
Why he'd be a target for murder?
Yeah, that's a true question.
You know, that's what's getting me. I know. So, here's the prosecution's general case. They've got two witnesses, both seen my defendant entering Arkelian's his office in that wing, and then leaving afterwards. And during that time is when his time of death was pegged. In addition to that, like I said, they've got fingerprints on the murder weapon and pretty much a whole array of things like hair follicles, etc. Of course, she works in that same office, so like, of course, there's going to be trace amounts of hair or whatever in a place that you work. People with hair shed those things. I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
That is how that works. That is how it works.
Right. It is. I mean, I shed petals sometimes. It's just how it goes.
Scarrick doesn't have hair, does he?
No.
Arrow's the only person here who has hair.
Arrow's the only. Let's take a
that
look at
is
the
organic.
character art
Like
for reference.
Twig has it, but it's biomechanical, so it's not organic.
Yeah, and Evers is just fire.
Hers are like cables.
Yeah, it's like cables. They're like, I imagine them to be kind of like fiber optic cables, right? Because they glow certain colors.
Did you all ever have one of those things that had like the cables that were like kind of translucent netting and it had the lights and they turned different colors?
Sorry, I'm just realizing the way that I designed her hair looks like dreads, and I didn't think about that previously.
I mean, it's cool. Seriously, what are those things? Did you ever have one like a pom pom that had like the
those were
netted tubes with the lights? Yeah,
all the
do you know what I'm
rage.
talking about?
Yeah. That specific type of plastic cable that only like glowed on one or the other end. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like fiber optic cable, right?
Yes, but not that. I wasn't thinking like. I'm not describing it properly. It's fine. It's
fine.
Anyway, enough talking about my hair.
So it's the fact that they found DNA evidence there. I'm not particularly surprised by it, right? Now, for motive, they've got her upcoming lack of renewal for her contract. Looks like she wasn't going to get renewed when the wing actually opened up, which means that they've got her essentially on a crime of passion against her boss, who was essentially firing her.
Was he firing her though? Was he really gonna do that?
Well, he never filed any paperwork to renew her contract. But what she told me was that she was aware that was going to be the case for almost half a year, and had been preparing to apply to some other museums in the area. And we do have those applications on file. She has been applying for other jobs.
All right. So what are you thinking that we can do here?
Well, here's the thing. Because the case seems so open and shut, the prosecutor's office has been able to file an injunction against me, preventing me from actually getting on site and taking a look at some of their preserved site evidence. And from what I understand, that might be something you guys can help me with.
So what you're saying is you want us to violate the laws of a crime scene and go onto the crime scene and potentially tamper with the crime scene illegally to get evidence to corroborate your client's alibi and prove her innocence. Is that about the sum of it?
There's a whole lot of illegally in there. What I'm suggesting is entirely legal. because the
Civilians
majority
aren't allowed on crime scenes. I know.
that is true. But the majority of the museum is not listed as the crime scene, and therefore is still open to the general public. The
So
thing
you're saying
is,
we should just go to the museum and have a nice visit at the museum and check out the museum.
If you wink any louder, I think it'll be audible.
Look, when you don't have eyelids, winking is hard, all right?
Yes. I'm just saying that talk to the people there. For some reason, the prosecution has claimed that the security tapes and recordings are missing.
Oh, well, that sounds like bullshit.
So you haven't seen any of those
Missing or
tapes?
damaged?
Missing.
Sorry.
Garrick, that
Okay.
sounds like something you could handle, right? Recovering security footage.
So if you could get
I
on
can
site
try.
and prove that it does exist, I'm hoping that it will help counter the eyewitness testimony that they have, and that's why they're withholding it.
Arrow kind of nudges Scarrick a little bit. It says, and if we can find that footage, and it does exist, you can see if they have that same shimmering effect that was on the same footage in the Museum of Wristwatches.
Yeah.
And that would be a definite link.
I need to do a little research about face-changing tech and disguising magic.
Well, it'll have to wait till after we check out this crime scene. I'm sorry, this museum.
Yes, this not audio tour.
Now, I'm not
No audio
saying
tours.
that if you just so happen to find your way onto the crime scene, that's the worst thing in the world, but you don't explicitly need to get in there.
I mean, you know, museum of that size, they have a decent staff. Who's to say one of the custodians doesn't wander onto the crime scene?
So, Arrow, I have a question.
I think Maury copyrighted that word, so
No one's allowed to
I
say
I
think
said
we call them
custodian.
janitors. I think we call them janitors
Custodian.
now.
Arrow,
Okay,
I
what are
have
the
I have a
janitors?
question for you.
Horrible. Yeah, what's up?
Janitors.
How do you feel about impersonating a peacekeeper?
Arrow does that thing where he opens his mouth like he's gonna be like, say hell no.
I
and then-
feel like this is a conversation you should not have in front of me.
You're right. We don't want to be liable. So forget that I said that, and
you
we're
know
gonna...
whatever, and kind of
No, that wasn't for this. That was for other thing we're doing later. It's just
Oh
like
yeah,
a whole
it's for a costume party.
fan
Ever. That's
Of course.
fan film
course.
thing.
That's such a great idea for a remote segment that I can do later today.
Yeah,
Like, pranks gone
100.
wrong, right?
it's for the
100%.
radio show.
It's been great. It's been great talking to you, Poyo. We'll see
Yep.
what we can find out. Let you know
Yeah,
how
of course,
that
of
goes.
course. If you need to talk to me, or I don't know, if you have any questions for Vali, I'm sure she'd be willing to talk to you guys as well.
Is she available?
Well, she's down at the Peacekeeper station, but I have a
Oh,
line to her as her
okay.
lawyer, so you can contact her through my comm line.
That's probably good to know.
Keep
Good
that in mind.
information.
So it passes you that information.
Mhm.
Just scans it from his comm to yours. One thing, Getty, Twig,
Mhm.
as you're
Shit
kind
on
of
my
sitting
list.
here talking, and you glance down at his nameplate again, and it occurs to you that that's a name that's on your list.
The lawyer?
Mm-hmm. The lawyer.
I didn't recognize it because it's so long. She. Okay. She gives him her comm information.
Okay.
We'll stay in touch over this, but I just have another question before we go.
Do I?
You don't have any idea? You don't have any idea who might be trying to set her up for this? Like any idea who would be gunning for? Well, trying to conceal their identity to kill this guy.
I've been thinking about that. And honestly, I have no idea who would want him dead. But I can say that a couple of the, let's say, more bloodthirsty prosecutors from Wing 2 are involved in this. Since the museum itself is technically in the Axis territory around the main government buildings and whatnot, it's
Wait,
kind of
when
a
you
hot.
say wing 2, are you still talking about the museum wings?
No, I'm talking about Wings of the of Kestia.
Oh, all right.
You know, the business and suburban sectors.
Sure.
So I can say there's been a rash of like strange like homicides and stuff recently that don't necessarily I'm not going to say that they are match up to this. But there's been some weird stuff going on, and I have a suspicion that they might be related. Part of that is that there might be a group of people who are working to make this happen. So if you it's probably public information that you're working the defense for this case, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the case is still pretty on the down low because, like I said, they don't like the idea of a incoming respected curator from the Galactic Academy. Fuck, what's it called?
What are you trying to think of?
The University of Wristwatches? No.
No, it's not the University of Wristwatches. I'm opening my book real
That
quick.
exists
I have it
now.
right here.
Does that
I mean,
exist?
if you could describe what you're trying to say, Ben, I probably can supply you with it. The Galactic Academy is nothing.
It's not the Galactic Academy. It's the one from Statues Past. The Galactic Coalition faction.
The branch that does all the history shit.
Here we go. The Nakoran Historical Preservation Society, NIPS.
Oh.
How can I forget
academy
NIPS?
even
No.
close in
How
that.
can I forget NIPS?
God.
He even got the best acronym.
Cannot believe I forgot all about NIPS. Oh, jeez. It's been a long time since we play tested that.
The main thing I'm saying is this might go beyond one random murderer, and you should be aware of that because somebody might wind up interested in you too. And I don't say that to like be paranoid or scare you, but like I'm sure you've dealt with that before, and I would consider it as a possibility.
Understood.
And if anything like seems funky or you start having any problems with your security system, please call me, okay?
I will. Yes.
All right.
I definitely will. Well, you let me know if you need anything, all right?
She nods.
We head for the museum.
All right. Head for the museum. We should probably keep all the illegal discussion away from the lawyer with all the fancy water.
We're great. We're great at doing that, you know, not discussing illegal things in public.
Also, why me as a peacekeeper? Like,
oh,
you're the best one who bullshits.
Yeah, well, I was mostly thinking because you seem to like impersonating people or like acting like other people, and also I nicked one of Ollie's uniforms a while back. So we could probably roll up the legs of the pants and the sleeves, and it would work fine.
You stole his fucking uniform? Ever? Wow.
That was a really, really strong word, all right.
Borrowed without permission?
It's on a credit-free
Picked
lease.
it up
from the laundromat without his knowledge?
No.
You know, better to have and not need than to need and not have.
That's what I always say. You're
So I just wanted to
right.
float that as like a possibility. But given that this is some of the people from Wing 2 of the station are involved, it seems like less of a nice idea at this point.
Well, honestly, it could be not as bad because
Less people from Ollie's unit to actually recognize that Arrow's not a
exactly.
police officer down here. I know.
Yeah.
Why do we? Oh, so we can break into the crime scene. Never mind.
Next,
I mean, yeah, we are breaking into a crime scene. So,
okay.
like, not that I'm worried. Like, this is getting into places I'm not supposed to be and then playing it off like I didn't know I was not supposed to be there. It's kind of my thing. So, like, I'm fine if we don't have anyone dressing up as a police officer.
Well, I can't exactly walk in wearing it, but you keep it in your little bag, and we'll keep it as a backup plan, just in case. We'll see.
Sure.
We'll see where the night takes us. And,
Sure.
go from there. Also, now I understand. Every time I'm like looking in my drawers for like that one pair of jeans that I haven't worn in a while, but I'm pretty sure I still had and I can't find. They didn't get lost in the dryer. Ever stole them. So, for those of you watching at
Clearly.
home, you can't find that pair of shorts that you love. It's because Ever stole them.
It's in the bag of holding.
Oh no.
Yep.
It's a hard light storage bag. Thanks very much.
It sounds like we're going to.
It's not your
Yeah.
box that secretly goes to your fucking superiors that you always
That
have us
is
put our
my
weapons in that you
suitcase,
don't
and that
tell us
is-
about.
No, I always have you put your weapons in the hard light storage bag. You have not seen me use this suitcase yet, so.
Okay, I was just assuming that at any point you could have all of our guns without realizing.
I could, but I'm not. I don't do
Just text
that.
your boss, like, take their guns out of the bag. I don't want them armed right now.
Yeah, it's pretty fair.
Audrey, because of my reasoning, Raz in the chat is upset. Their cat socks are gone because of Ever. So thanks, Ever, for that. Anyway,
Oh no, I've committed crimes.
No, I
so
took those.
we are
Sorry,
headed to the
Raz.
museum of whatever the shit you called it, Ben.
Oh, of Nikoran war history.
I thought you said Avon.
Yeah, Avon Nikoran, but
Does that mean there are like guns there?
Probably
yes.
antiques.
Yeah.
yes. Great. Let's go walk into an armory across a police line.
They are
And
antiques.
most of them don't work anymore.
Yeah, I just
Let's
imagine like that scene in Demolition Man where they fight in the Museum of Violence or whatever it was.
Oh man!
Fucking
The Demolition
That's
Man.
actually kind of accurate to what you're gonna find here.
I imagine
Fuck.
that they probably put the
Here we
plasma
go.
tents out.
Before we get to this museum, I just have to say that I'm having an existential crisis because one of my flaws is look, don't touch is a rule best left in a museum.
And this is the second museum
We've been
gone
visiting
to.
a lot of museums for that. flaw.
Welcome to
But-
Museums, the stream.
Look, Kessia
We're just really-
has
we're just
a
on withdrawal right
riveting, has a riveting tourism industry
Yeah.
related to
Sailor
museums.
has a
But
bunch
an
of great museums
explicit
that are
educational
free,
tourism.
but we can't go to them because of COVID.
That's
So we're
actually
having
That's
that's a good
withdrawals.
point. That's a
That's
good
true.
point, Getty. We've grown up around an area with so many free, great museums.
This entire campaign
Um,
is just a long con to tell all of you, go support your local museum when it opens
Go
up.
support your local museum. Who knows? There might be a dead curator there.
I think that's fair. Okay.
Anyway,
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
We're going to
Foreshadowing?
this museum that does have a dead curator in it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Well, not in it anymore.
I hope not.
Eh.
All right, so you guys head to the Axis, which, if you remember from a couple episodes ago, is a very clean, kind of rigidly structured place. It doesn't have any of the chaotic nature of the stacked and cluttered buildings that the sweeps have. Everything is very particularly laid out and doesn't go to too many high of levels. But also, people don't actually live here. They come here to work or visit. And And yeah, the museum isn't too hard to find. In one of the station-run park areas, there is a number of museums that are kind of like around a large park area, complete with fountains and beautiful grassy hills and trees and stuff. Just things that are taken care of by some local plane shifters who make sure that the place stays nice and vibrant. And yeah, you guys. I mean, I assume that you public transited here, so you guys will arrive, step out of your the transit tram at the edge of the park, and start heading in. The museum itself is it's probably the third largest of like the 5 museums in this ring. Doesn't quite hold the scale of the Museum of Technology or the Museum of Cultural History. But it is pretty sizable, and out front are a number of like busts and statues, as well as some like antique vehicles. There's like a small platoon spaceship kind of mounted on one of the like pedestal areas. Just something that was probably used maybe more than 1,000 years ago. That's been kind of like carefully preserved
Is it
over
an actual
time.
like starfighter?
It is an
Or-
actual starfighter. Yes.
Damn.
That's like the
Yep.
Smithsonian.
Yes.
But is it a Lewis Avon fighter or?
This one is a Lewis Avon fighter. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So from the original Lewis Avon Empire, back when it was at war with the Galactic Coalition. So like I said, about 900 years old.
Whew.
But yeah, so it is a glorious piece. Like, but that's to give you an idea of like the museums in this area. This is basically like the circle of Smithsonians. And you guys head inside. The museum entry is free, of course, because cultural experience is something that most of the Galactic Coalition and galactic governments believe that people should be able to experience.
Looks in the camera.
Well, there's no commentary in this, and we definitely don't hate capitalism. It's fine.
We don't do commentary here.
But yeah, so you head inside. There's people moving about. It looks like it is as popular as ever, despite what has happened here. Though you doubt that, like, it's not that they're hiding it or anything, but it's probably not like highly profile in the news anywhere or the news cycle or anything like that talking about it. You notice that on the like overhead map, which is of course digitally displayed, the West Wing is currently not lit up for access. It just says branch under construction. So what's the plan? You guys are inside.
First, I'm looking for any sort of museum map that might give us a hint as to what the wings are labeled so that we can process of elimination and figure out where this murder occurred.
Oh, okay. So I just said that there's a large digital map,
Yes.
and the West Wing, which is where you know the murder occurred, says it's closed for construction on the map.
Right.
It's not like it's
There's no other label though.
backlit differently. It says, so there is a notice saying new exhibit coming soon. Conflicts of the Veerux and the Nakora.
Conflicts with the Veerux and the Nakora. Okay.
And some of the other wings in the area, like the main wing and the main draw of this museum, of course, is the war between the Lewis Avon Empire and the Galactic Coalition, when this station used to be a war fortress for the Lewis Avon Empire that was turned over during the eventual treaty between the two. Right. So like that's the main thing. And the treaty itself that turned over the station is here. It's in one of the exhibits. It's a pretty big deal. It's one of the main reasons people come here. The side wings are usually, they change every 6 months or so as the year moves on. Like new exhibits come and then they go, to kind of keep things fresh and interesting. The East Wing, which is the other major exhibit right now that's currently open, describes the war between. It mostly describes a conflict that took place between the various frontier nations during some of the early expansion before those laws kind of got codified and figured out. So it's mostly between the Novus Federation and the KGC is where a lot of that conflict came in. And that's the visiting exhibit in the East Wing that's currently open. But like I said, the West Wing looks like they were getting ready to open a new exhibit about the Veerux and their conflicts with the Nokoran Galaxy. But that wing is, of course, not open yet.
But we can still like go up to where that wing ends, though.
In
right?
that, like, how close
Yeah.
can we get to that wing? Yeah.
Sounds
The
like-
entrance to the wing. Like there's this big double door with like art and stuff.
Is there only one
And-
entrance to the wing, or are there multiple?
There's one public entrance on the first floor and one public entrance on the second floor.
Okay.
But there is
Okay.
like worker entrances,
Okay.
of course.
There it is. That's what
Yeah.
I'm looking for.
And they're on the map. Like they're not hiding. Like there's no secrets on them. The map is literally a blueprint of the building, basically. Totally interactable. You can press certain areas on the map, and a little like voice will pop up, asking you if you want to learn more about that area before you go there, and things of that nature. So, it's a very interactive map. Let's put it that way. You guys are currently in like a large central area. It has more spaceships in it. You can see like more. I mean, they're old, ancient ass spaceships, but a lot of them are like hung above you. Is basically a freeze framed scene of real Lewis Avon and Galactic Coalition spaceships arranged in like a dogfight, basically
That's so awesome.
on a starry background.
That's so awesome.
So
That's pretty cool. All right. So, we know which way we have to go.
I want to scope the place out.
Yeah, we might as well, and we find.
Ben, before we walk
anybody
in here, I'm going to trigger my shadowed identity.
okay, sounds good.
smart. Yeah, let's poke around. Maybe talk to somebody.
Sure. So there's big double doors, and are they closed? Is there a guard in front? I guess we have to go over there.
Yeah, you'll have to make your way over there.
All right. Well, I mean, that's probably where we need to go. So,
Start there.
Anybody have any other ideas?
Yeah, I will say the map, you can see where like the employee areas entrances are, as well as like the security office entrances and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna wander over towards the security office.
Okay.
We're about to national treasure this thing. I'm so excited.
All right, so it sounds like Scarrett's heading over.
We're
towards
not
the
even
security
trying to
office
steal
area.
anything.
I know. Is there a sorry Ben, not to cut you off, but is there like a janitor's closet somewhere
Oh, for sure.
nearby? Okay. It's time to check that out. Arrow's gonna go like look around and see if he can get into this janitor's closet.
Roll investigation first.
Nat 1.
Okay. Are you heading off by yourself to do this venture?
Probably stick by Scarix where Scarix going, because I imagine if there's a wing or like a side hallway for a security office, most likely there will be a broom closet or such works close by.
Okay. All right, so you two are together. What about you, Ever, and you, Twig?
We're probably hanging out together, but I doubt we're going very far from the others.
Okay, so the four of you are still pretty close together?
Fair enough. Yeah.
This is a museum full of shit that I'm actually interested in, Ben. So
Oh,
I
same.
don't really know that I am pacing
Yeah, I guess that's a
myself
good
that
question.
much.
Has Ever gotten a chance to come here? Because this is on the Axis part of the station, which is not her usual haunt.
Definitely has a couple times. This is not where she takes fake tours, though.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's a place that she would come for research, I think, especially
Sense.
depending on what what job she has at the time.
Yeah, there's a lot of information about the history of this station specifically.
Right,
here,
which is something that is very interesting to her. So
right. I assume Arrow's probably been here at least once because he grew up here and has never left.
Yeah.
So like as
Twig
a kid,
has never visited.
if nothing else, as a kid in school, you would have had trips here, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, Arrow's lived on the station his whole life, so he's been here.
He's been to all the
Yep.
museums.
But and then I don't know about Scarrick.
Seen pictures.
Fair enough. All right, so it sounds like Twig and Ever are trailing behind a little bit, but the four of you are roughly together. Everybody else make a perception check for me. Aaron, go ahead and make a stealth check.
Copy that.
Mm.
All right.
Ben,
Not
do you
It's based on
consider this
sound.
area of the station to still be in my lay of the land?
Cool. Good.
I believe what we talked about was
This is wing 2 again, so it would be no, right?
This is the Axis, which is its own wing area.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's just the sweeps is what we had talked about.
The sweeps and the docks are the two areas that you're attuned to.
Got it.
No, you're attuned to the whole station, Audrey. The only time you lost it was when we went off to the asteroid.
I didn't have it when we did the little girl thing.
Okay,
'Cause it
we
was
did
a
specify
wealthy-
the wings.
We
That's
considered it to be a
right.
different
A
enough
different
part of the
zone.
city. So
Okay,
that's
fair
why
enough.
I'm asking. Because
Yeah, I would say this place is pretty different than the sweeps and the docks. So,
Okay.
all right, what'd you guys get for perception?
10.
18.
Okay,
I forgot to
and
roll
Aaron?
forgot to roll my perception. Do you want me to
No,
still
you
don't
you
have
don't
to?
need
Okay.
perception.
In that case,
I just need your stealth.
I got a 13 for my stealth.
Okay. Ever, you and you, Scarrick, watch as Arrow stops by like a janitor closet and looks really obviously for like cameras or other people watching and completely misses the camera that's in the hallway that will totally see him as he tries to sneak into the janitor closet and close the door behind himself. You're welcome to stop him, but that's what you see happening.
Okay, I was gonna say because you're describing him doing that whole thing, but we don't have a chance.
No,
Okay.
that's his intent.
That's my
it's
intent.
obvious that he's going to open that door and sneak inside.
If you go like,
Eric,
Hey, Arrow.
arm around him, scoops him along. Nope. Don't open random doors.
you scoop them up. I don't know
All
why
right.
I did like the picking up a cat pose.
That was accurate.
We're going to the security office. The story is we were hired by Arkelian's family to investigate his death further.
Okay. Yeah, I can work with that. Sure. I was gonna dress up as a janitor and pay a kid to dump a bunch of smoothies and then cause a ruckus, but your plan is a lot less of a disaster and attention.
I can go dump a bunch of smoothies.
No. The point is, it would be not. That's not the point.
Scarrick's like, I'm kind of into this.
No. It's your plan is a lot less inconspicuous. A lot more inconspicuous. It doesn't. Your plan is good. Let's do that.
You mean my plan doesn't start with property damage?
That's correct. That's correct. But I do, and he pulls out a cred stick. I do have a cred stick. It's got 100 credits on it. No, that's way too much. I can't afford that. I got a cred stick. It's got 20 credits on it. So there's like a security guard or someone in our way. I could pay off a kid to go throw a smoothie at him, and then they'd have to leave.
Why
Clean up.
are all of your tactics based on smoothies?
What other tactics have I had based on smoothies?
Wait, you
Are
only
you
have
hungry?
20. You only have 20 credits.
No, I mean, I have more than 20 credits. I just didn't put more than 20 credits on this cred stick.
Insight.
You just rolling
Okay.
insight's gonna make Arrow doubt himself. Like, do I have more than 20 credits?
I only got a 7.
Sounds like he's telling the truth.
I don't have enough money for chicken nuggets.
Oh, man.
McDonald's. Anyway, so okay, so how about why don't we merge our plans? Why don't we do the same thing at the same time? We tell them who we are and be very polite and upfront, and when we're partway through our discussion, he gets hit with a smoothie, and then he's gotta leave. You'd be like, fine, whatever. It's a perfect plan.
Ben, I would like to say
where
for
do
the
we get a
record that Ever
smoothie?
is just looking at actual exhibits and going at her own pace, looking at these exhibits on the way to the wing that we're trying to get to.
Okay.
I'm probably honestly also trailing along with you because this is interesting to me.
Or Ever. You're enough of a, like a weapons expert.
What? I'm sorry. What are we doing?
You're a weapons expert.
Oh, that's very nice of you to say. What does that have to do with what we're doing here?
Just because
We're in a
somebody likes
war
grenades
museum.
doesn't mean that
We're
it's
in a war museum.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, you could be a consultant
A consultant for what?
for the new exhibit in the West Wing.
Well, the thing is, I don't specialize in Veerux weapons because this stuff's kind of nasty shit. I actually do specialize in the Lewis Avon stuff, but they don't need any curators for that. So
But they don't know that.
Really work. I'm a bad liar. I just want that to be
Arrow's not.
100% out there. Look, whatever you're doing, I am in favor of Arrow impersonating whoever he wants. I just want it to be known that I probably can get in this crime scene without pretending to be anyone if I'm not bringing everybody. But maybe Arrow pretending to be someone could serve as a distraction.
Well, it sounds like all we really need here is a distraction. So, if you'll excuse me.
Oh my god.
If you're gonna go
wait.
get some fucking smoothies,
Arrow's gonna look
Arrow,
for.
I swear to God.
I'd like to find a snot-nosed kid.
Oh, baby.
Do-
Sweet
I-
child. Ben's distracted.
I'm sorry.
Ben,
I'm listening. I'm listening.
are you?
She just likes to be held this way. I don't know why. She likes to put her arms over my shoulder.
Okay.
Just watching your
Ever.
back.
That's your cover story if you get caught back there. Arrow and I will try to get the cameras jammed up in security.
All right.
Sure. Recovering the missing footage, though, that's kind of top priority.
Yeah, no, that's what we're going to be doing. We're just going to make sure the cameras are off of you.
Right.
Oh, that's great. That's
I'll
fine.
cause a diversion, and after that, I can help Scarrett get into the office, and then help him out. Well, this will go great. This will go great. This will go great. And then Arrow goes, and Ben, I would like to try to find a snot-nosed kid.
Okay. Twig, what are you doing?
The audio tour.
Yes, the audio tour. I'm gonna get myself separated from the group and then wait for somebody to come up and stick a knife in my back. No, I'm hanging out with. I'm just following.
Ever?
Yeah, Ever around.
Got you.
She asks her a tourist question.
I mean, Ever can definitely ramble on about it,
Yeah, she just gets her started.
and
Yep.
does.
Hell yeah.
You see this specific type of spaceship isn't in use anymore because of the
Ever doesn't give a shit about spaceships.
I
Ben.
know.
Ever
I know.
is talking explicitly about. So you see how there's an extra long grip on this glaive, and that's obviously because if you're a Lewis Avon fighter, you got to be able to use it in your hands, which are three-fingered, or you got to be able to use it in your feet, which are really surprisingly dexterous. It's amazing if you haven't seen any Lewis Avon fighting. It's wonderful to watch. But so you have the extra long grip, but then you have to counterbalance the blade so that it fits right when you're holding it while you're flying, because that's obviously another challenge to have to balance.
I'm imagining a small crowd of people like stopping and listening, like eavesdropping.
No.
Ever,
No.
how'd you wind up getting interested in like Lewis Avon stuff?
It just caught my fancy, I guess. You leave these on. There's like this period of your life as a young Easonite where you're out there in the galaxy trying to figure out what it is that you want to do and what's caught your fancy. And for me, it was just I like the history aspect, and I had job opportunities at some Avon dig sites, and yeah.
Wait, dig sites? You were on the archaeology side of things?
Well, there's just more like I'm dating. Like my first internship was I was just like dating things based like that had already been dug up. So I'm not doing any of the digging. I don't really.
So you're more of like an anthropologist?
Well, a little bit of both, but the thing is like it's not all planet side, right? I had that in an internship at a dig site planet side, but then it was like most of like space battles and stuff is in space. Go figure. So I do a lot more like urban exploration and recovery and that kind of things. Yeah.
So
What?
So you're an expert.
I am an
Wait.
expert on many things.
I
including
mean,
grenades.
yeah, but
yes.
Besides the fucking grenades, I don't know. That's
you-
really interesting. I didn't expect that from you.
Were you a Tomb Raider?
No, I'm not Tomb Raider. I don't break into
That's not
burial
how
grounds. That's
archaeology actually works,
not,
Garrick. That's
my
actually a
ideal.
really dismissive way to look at it. So.
You know, Twig, I could be really, really insulted probably by you saying you didn't expect that from me, except that I've said a little more than I was hoping to say. So that means I
didn't mean
did
it
a
like
good job.
that. I
Thought
did
I
not
could
mean it like
deflect
that.
you with the grenade talk. You know, I am an expert about grenades, so one of my many areas of expertise.
That means she likes us, Twig. She's opening up.
Don't say that. She'll close back down again.
Derek,
Like a
please do not.
blooming fire lily on the surface of Izan.
Gosh.
Who the fuck was that?
I don't know.
Man
That was me. That was
So
me.
it was the voice in Ever's head, and she was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm done talking."
Yeah, she remembered one of the Flames priests.
Oh my gosh. Ben, that sounded like if Uncle Iroh was a Uther.
Yeah.
It really did.
I thought you were quoting Iroh for a second.
Yeah.
Notes for a character I'm gonna play.
Uncle Iroh,
Yes.
but a Uther.
I apostrophe row. Iroh.
It fits. It works.
God damn it.
Anyway.
All right. So, computer boy, Derek.
Yeah.
As you approach the security office, there's no like active guard or anything. You find a little nook that doesn't have any camera activity. That's probably close enough to the systems. You could probably hop on here,
Sure.
unless you're looking to actually go into the security room.
I'm going to hop on first and snoop a bit before approaching security.
Roll to get on the private network. Computer check.
Oh, boy. That's going to be a 22.
Okay. Roll stealth.
Okay, let's see. Oh, nope. That
Remember, you use your intelligence for this stealth roll.
I don't know where that D20 went.
It's lost.
Well,
in the abyss.
that's a natural one.
Yes.
I lost a die and I got a natural one.
All right. Well,
Everything is going wrong.
So you get on the system, no trouble at all. Probably because they give out the free Wi-Fi code.
Oh my god.
And they
I'm
host
kidding.
Glad I rolled that
I'm kidding.
22.
Oh,
God.
Damn.
Free Wi-Fi.
When you hop over onto the private Wi-Fi from the local Wi-Fi,
You're like,
the
wow, look at all
computer-
these key trackers. Get this out of here.
yeah, the
Just like
computer
chaff.
the computer pings your system. The network pings your
hell.
system, and it's like, you have entered a private network. Please identify yourself. It's very friendly, honestly, for private networks. But a little like password prompt pops up.
Can I run a password decoder thingy program?
Yeah, sure. It'll take you some time, but you can.
Okay, I'll do it as long as I can. I don't want to get caught by anybody wandering the halls.
Okay. So Arrow's with you. Do you need him to do lookout, or are you actually going to find a child to pay to cause a ruckus?
I've seen National Treasure. What you do is you go up to the concession stand, you buy an icy or a I don't know, something like that, and then you turn to a kid and was just like, hey kid, you see that security guard or see whatever? Like, I'll give you 200 credits to go if you go start like the biggest food fight ever. And
I hope you mean 20 credits and not 200.
Oh
but
God,
okay.
yes, 20 credits. Yes. not like a toddler, but like,
Yeah.
We're selling this kid out to Olive.
Exactly. I'm just like looking for like
ready
whatever.
for a criminal record.
Like, I'm gonna do something really funny. That kid over there has been bullying. Anyway, we can play this out. I can play it out. So that's what Arrow's plan is.
All right. Arrow, let's go to you while he's decoding. Then.
Okay.
So you buy your icy.
Okay. Icy. Check.
There's plenty of kids from all ages here, and adults.
I want to find an angsty one.
You find this angsty looking teen, maybe like 12 years old. I guess that's not a teen, is it? No.
Tween.
Preteen. Tween.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But he's kind of sulking at one of the tables, poking at his noodles.
Okay. Arrow like sits next to him, and does it look like he's out here on a field trip?
Probably.
Oh my God.
Almost
yes.
certainly.
Perfect. Did Arrow like find the teacher?
He turns and looks at you, and you see the school uniform is from your old high school.
Oh
your old middle high school.
Oh my God. Okay. So do I recognize a teacher here?
Yeah, you look around and you see Mrs. Potts.
Uh-oh.
Mrs. Potts. Oh yeah, this is the plan. So Arrow goes and just sits down across from this kid and says, "You this is great. Here on the field trip?"
Looks up.
God,
yeah.
Mrs. Potts was still teaching when I was there. She's still the worst.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wait, who are you?
Just some random idiot. Don't worry about it. I tell you what, kid. How do you feel about? And he puts the smoothie on the table, or the icy on the table, and says, "Listen, I was in your position a long time ago. Mrs. Potts was the worst, and she ruined this field trip. And I just wish somebody would have thrown an icy at her and started a food fight."
At Mrs. Potts? Are you kidding?
No. It would be awesome, right?
It would be kind of awesome, yeah.
Well, Getty? Yes, that's exactly right. If a weird man approaches you in the museum and starts having a conversation with you, call the police.
Yeah, let's make that real plain.
Yes. Cool. Well, I'll tell you what. You're free to live your own life, but he puts the 20 cred stick down. It's got 20 cred sticks. I'm gonna get up and leave this table regardless because I'm just some dude and I'm not gonna talk to you any longer because you're a teenager and life sucks and stuff. So anyway,
and it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, for sure. This has already gone on too long. So I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave that 20 cred sticks, and if you want to slip that in your pocket,
oh my God,
and throw that icy in Miss Potts, I'm gonna stand over there and watch, and you're just gonna fulfill my dreams and make my dreams come true. And you, I guarantee it, will be the coolest kid in school. Anyway, and he gets up and leaves.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Oh hell yes.
Kid's like, that guy was more awkward than I am.
Yeah, this kid's confidence just increased tenfold.
Listen, if I was on a field trip and some random person came up and gave me a $50 bill and said, throw this at the teacher. I would find a way to be like, oops. My dad's watching the stream. I would never.
Yeah,
have
but
done
you
that.
didn't do that. You like made it real creepy.
Listen,
Yeah, right.
this entire plan is half baked.
Throw this slushy, you'll make my dreams come true.
Well, hey, guess what? I hate you all. Oh my god.
It's okay. I'm scandalizing the chat by talking about the origins of the word tween. So.
Oh gosh.
Is it really from Lord of the Rings?
I don't know that that's where it's originated, but hilariously, shameless self-plug here. I do a podcast called Mordor, She Wrote that will be coming out soon, where I deep dive into Tolkien with a friend who's never read any Tolkien. And we just read chapters 2 and 3 of Fellowship of the Ring, and in chapter 2, Tolkien specifically describes Frodo as still looking like a tween, even as he approaches his 50th birthday.
Holy
In
shit!
Tolkien's world, it is not
Oh my-
clear whether he's actually talking about the preteen years, which is what we usually talk about when we're saying tween, right?
Mhm.
Or if he's talking about like the 20s and 30s of hobbithood. But he does use that term, so.
Well,
The more you know.
the more you know. But anyway, about that persuasion, how's 24?
Oh, God.
I rolled
Okay.
an 18 on the die. It's going
So
down.
you walk away.
This kid's doomed.
And Scarrick, your program's taking a little while, but from inside the security room, you hear some like chatter, and then the door slides open, and a couple of security guards hurry past you without even looking at you, and you hear one
Act
of them
like
talking.
I'm on the phone real quick.
Yeah, one of them talking to their radio is just like, a food fight? What?
Does it happen in real life?
These things happen? No.
Slide right into that security office.
Okay. Yeah, the door is unlocked, so you slide right in.
Perfect. That was the plan.
And your password cracks. You get through.
Sweet.
So you're in the office, you're on their system, but you also have access to their direct computers as well.
Okay, I'm going to immediately find the cameras for the West Wing, download what I can, and then set the cameras to loop.
Okay.
So
go ahead and roll
that,
a computer check for me.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to get up there, sweetie?
Dirty 20.
Okay. You think you succeed pretty well. Go ahead and roll a stealth check to see how well you hide what you have done.
Okay.
Remember, use your intelligence, not your dex.
Yeah. So it's 14.
Okay. Meanwhile, Ever and Twig have finally reached the entrance to the West Wing, and you see these large open double doors. They're roped off right now, with just like one of those red velvet rope pieces. And there's a sign that says closed for construction purposes. It's got an opening date. Oh, she made it up there. You're going to knock my hat down.
Is your cat on
Is
top?
she on top of a bookshelf?
Yeah, she's all the way up on the bookshelf now. She was attracted by the feathers of my musketeer hat. I'm really hoping that she just realizes that they're unmoving feathers and decides it's not interesting enough to continue looking
That's not
at.
cat logic.
Because if I try to take her down from there, she's just going to want to be up there more.
That's true.
All right. So I'm going to ignore her. Sorry. That was my
It's all good.
cat lessons for the day. Negative attention is as good as positive attention to a cat.
People are here for the cat content. We know that.
True.
So you see there's this large like art relief of space, and there is like a painted piece above it that says the the dark history of the most vile threat in the galaxy. And there's like some content warning signs and stuff talking about how certain parts of the wing might not be appropriate for all ages and things of that matter. And
Jeez,
that
you
there'll
think
be
they talk about the butchers?
Well, the thing is, you don't really talk about Veerux and any of the conflicts that involve them without talking about the pot where they, eat species that aren't human. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, there's no like active guard sitting there preventing you from going inside or anything.
That's good because I'm just going to walk in like I belong
Yeah,
there.
Twig just walks in with her.
Sorry, I had to see what Audrey posted in our group.
Raz
hold on, I'm
sent
gonna
me
drag
the
this.
fiber optic wand.
I gotta drag this over the screen so
You
people
do.
can see this.
This is what, okay, for context, this is what Twig's hair looks like.
Is one of those.
Yes.
It's like the
Yes.
unicorn.
Oh my gosh.
Like that.
There it is.
There it is. You get it. It's yeah.
Yep.
God.
So-
Oh,
I need to
gosh.
get a better way to like show images.
You really do.
I need to get that third monitor.
You're
y'all.
laying it over us. That's really
I love
funny.
it though. I think it's really good.
Oh,
think it's,
sweetie,
I
I don't
think
want
it's
you to
great.
try and jump down from there because my computer is where you're going to jump.
Oh God.
Take out the whole streaming array.
Something bad's about to happen, huh?
Uh-oh.
No.
Baby time. Baby, where are you? Come, entertain our adoring fans. You child.
Okay. All right. We're back.
She's not
Crisis
responding to
averted.
me.
Oh, also, Liz is asking about the podcast Mordor. She wrote, it's not anywhere yet, but it will be on Spotify, yes. We have a promo coming out, I think, next week. And then episodes should be every 2 weeks. So.
Thanks. Okay. So, you're just gonna walk right through, you said?
Yeah, like we belong here.
Okay. Twig, you following?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right along.
You just walk on inside. You head into the wing. You pass through a tunnel that's supposed to be painted to look like a wormhole. And as you come out to the other side, you open up to a large area where there is obvious, like, there's a couple of different pieces here that are pretty large, and that's why they're taking up the space. There is more spaceships and things of that nature kind of in this larger area. Most of them seem to belong to various galactic cultures. There is a spaceship that's listed as more than 3,000 years old, which was part of the original Veerux Bravash War that happened when the Veerux first came and fought with the Bravash and the Hanadarians. And that thing is like encased in a special like preservation piece because it is definitely falling apart. But there's also like pieces of Veerux ships, nothing whole or complete, because the Veerux don't usually let their vessels be captured whole and complete. But there's a lot of, you can see the telltale red and gold and black of the way that they colored their ships. There is a display with various pictures and stuff, and you can see some hollow images of like what people in those time periods wore on both sides as best as they could tell as far as the Veerux side goes. Because again, a lot of that information is kind of shrouded by Veerux's tactics to remain as secret as possible. But eventually, as you kind of round one of the corners, you see an area marked off with Peacekeeper tape, which you assume to be where the murder took place, like the office and stuff. But even as you see that, something else catches your eye, Twig. As you're glancing on like the various pieces of paraphernalia in the exhibits and whatnot, You see a golden eye,
Ever.
6 lines.
She
Uh,
takes her shoulder.
what am I looking at? What?
Come here.
What?
She goes over
I-
to the case.
Looks like an old piece of metal, probably used to be on a weapon or something, or maybe a piece of armor. But the marking is relatively clear, although very scratched up and ancient. It looks very similar to the symbol that you have.
She pulls her pad out, looks at it. What
That-
is it? You're better at museums than me. What's the context here? What's it? She like looks around for a plaque or something.
That
That would be the
No.
third era sigil of the Veerux Empire. A voice says from behind you.
I spin around.
You spin around, and Ever recognizes both the voice and the person who's speaking.
Oh, I don't
Um,
turn around though.
Okay, but you recognize the voice of the
Sure.
person who's speaking as Munir Amid, one of the other curators for the museum, and a distinguished local Lewis Avon Luantua historian, stands behind you guys with a bemused expression on his face and his arms crossed, wearing the museum uniform. You know, this wing is technically off limits.
She still has her pad out. Yeah, sorry, didn't realize that. She like glances over the crime scene tape. She is completely taken aback by this.
Ever still hasn't reacted. She's studying the symbol, Ben.
Okay.
She looks back over her shoulder at the case. Sorry. Yeah. We're in the wrong spot, you're telling me.
Boss. So here's the thing. I finally turn around to look at him.
Oh.
So
I see.
here's the thing. You know, I said I had that side gigs, and we found out there was someone murdered here. So it's kind of a funny story, but long story short, I'm here to kind of figure out what happened.
Part of the side gig, I take
Part
it.
of the side gig. Also, this symbol has been kind of floating around on some other stuff that I've seen lately, which, you know, that kind of bodes
it
ill
comes
for
up.
everything in general.
That does bode ill.
She holds up her phone. So you're telling me that this...
Well, it's a little bit different. Maybe a little more modern than the symbol here.
Right, so
We've
someone
got
reviving.
Veerux
that movement.
revivalists?
Well, the
Third era
Veerux,
Veerux revival? Fuck.
the Veerux, they're not gone. I
Well,
mean,
yeah, but...
it's been a good 300, 400 years since their last incursion, major incursion, but they're not gone.
But this is from a previous wave, right?
Yes, this is from the second era war.
So how long ago
Um,
was that?
Oh, that would have been almost 800, 900 years ago, around the time when the station was turned over to the GC. Part of the
So it's-
reason for the treaty between the Luosavan Empire and the Galactic Coalition was because of a Veerux incursion.
That Veerux incursion?
Yes.
Common enemy. And
She
all
looks
that.
at Ever. So
What?
we've got some crazy cult running around that's either associated with it or like knows enough about the Veerux to like be identifying with the Veerux that this war was fought over.
I
That's
mean, it
not.
If they're
seems-
using the symbol itself is considered to be the eye of truth. The eye that sees to the hearts of mortal kind, belonging
which
to
is
the
their
Veerux
god
deity.
thing, right?
Yes. Zaldin, god of
Hmm.
truth, so to speak. Or at least that's
well.
what they consider it to be.
I mean, it doesn't seem great, but yes, that is what things are pointing to. Also, oh, hey, boss, this is Twig. Twig, this is my handler.
Pleasure to
handler.
meet you. I am Munir Amid, just a
The
local
pleasure's mine.
curator, I assure you.
Munir, she looks at. This explains why you wanted first dibs on anything related to Lewis Avon.
Ever is eyes and ears for me on the ground of the sweeps. You'd be surprised how many things are still left over from when this place was a Lewis Avon controlled site.
I'll be
People think
completely
they're
honest
junk.
with you, sir. I am thankful that she's your eyes and ears, because she looks at Ever. I was hoping it wasn't anything worse.
Ever laughs. She
What?
definitely laughs.
I don't know how you could think so ill of dear Ever here. She is a rather upstanding woman, I would say.
Ever, how many grenades do you have on you right now?
I hope at
I
least
have
4.
no grenades on my person.
What?
But,
We're in a museum!
The agreement is 4 minimum.
none on my person, but
Are you a supplier?
on my
I
poison.
can't talk to you.
No, Twig. They're
That
all
would
in the
be
Hot Light
a
storage bag. Okay.
That would be a gross miscarriage of employer-employee relations if I was also the person she purchased her grenades from.
Right, of
Right.
course. I apologize. It was outside of my... Sorry, I'm just...
Are you always like judging the morals of a person based on how many grenades they carry at any given time?
No, that's just how you introduced yourself to me in this context, so it kind of sticks.
Well, the context in which we were introduced was a situation that called for grenades.
Anyway,
So you're here to investigate the death of Dr. Mutelia, then?
Right. We
Yes.
kind of want to figure out the why, and also they got the wrong person. So
Oh, I don't really know how to say this, but the witnesses they have were pretty clear. I mean, they know
oh no. Here's
they
the
know
thing.
the
I'm
accused very well.
gonna pitch something wild to you, boss. All right.
Okay.
There are witnesses that are both confirming her guilt and confirming her alibi. All of them know her, and well, let's just say that we've had a run-in recently where a person looked identical to another person. So then when we tracked that person down and he was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" It was very confusing for everyone involved. But the point is, someone broke into another museum to find a target, which happened to be Arrow, another person that I'm working with, and
The radio host. Yes.
yeah, that one,
yes.
and held him at gunpoint. And the situation did not end in murder that time, but it certainly could have. And so it seems like maybe it's a little bit of a leap, but still close enough to look into. People saying they've seen the same person in different places at the same time. Maybe someone out here is doing some sort of disguise thing or some sort of magic that covers the tracks.
I guess it's possible, though it'd have to be a very sophisticated disguise to overcome the camera and sensor setup that we have here.
Is
Well, we
this
had
guy
heard
Lewis
that-
Avon, or is he...
He's a Luantua.
Luantua, yeah, sorry.
We had heard that the security tapes were not found.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain that we passed those along to
To
the
whomst?
the prosecution office, of course.
Did you see them in the first place?
Curious.
It wasn't part of the investigation, no.
Do you know
This
anyone who
isn't
was?
normally my wing.
Do you think that we
Um,
could talk to the prosecution? Not that that's a great idea, honestly, for me to be
Well,
talking
they're
to
the ones-
lawyers, but
Well, they're the ones who are preventing, like, the investigation to happen.
did the
so I don't think we're going to
injunction,
get a whole
yeah.
lot of them out of them.
well, I mean, maybe it's a grenade situation, all right?
I probably have a copy of what we sent them.
That
Would be great.
Yeah, fantastic.
At any point during this conversation, would Arrow and Scarrick have made their way back here?
That's I'm about to jump
Sneaking
back to you
in.
guys.
Okay.
Sneaking in, yeah.
All right, so
She like rubs her head and looks back at the case.
so back with you, Scarrick. You finished your download And you think you're reasonably sure that you have all of the data from like the last from the 48 hours around the time from the cameras in the West Wing.
Okay.
Yep.
Bailing out. Going to
Okay.
find Arrow.
Let's say
Yeah,
Arrow.
so
As soon as Arrow's gonna get his camera up and watch this magnificent moment when Miss Potts gets
Yeah, you see Miss Potts' face get smashed, not literally smashed, but like the icy like just
yes.
directly ruining her school uniform.
Spray goes all over other kids' uniforms.
And
Beautiful.
there's
Chef
some
kiss.
screeching and food gets thrown and some security officers run in to figure out what's going on, why there's chaos in the food court.
Yep.
Um,
Arrow let his drone record there for a second and then pop into the room where Scarrick is probably just finishing up there.
Yep, Scarrick's just finishing up.
So we'll run into each other as you're ready
Yep.
to bail out. Be like, you get it?
Yep. Let's go to the West Wing and meet up with Ever and Twig.
Nice. Okay. And then he'll go and grab that drone and we'll go to the West Wing.
When you guys get over there, you see the same thing I described earlier, the roped off door, etc.
I bet that's the way.
Things seem quiet.
Okay.
Well,
Do.
Just go on over. You start to make your way inside the tunnel, and you see
Wow.
3 figures walking out of the tunnel the other direction towards you.
Shit. Hi.
Hide.
We're in a tunnel. Is there anywhere to hide?
You'll have to hop back and
Just
like try
press
to
against the window.
press into like one of the corners. Roll stealth.
Oh,
I'm not bothering.
I got an
Okay.
18 on the die. Holy shit. That's a 20. It's a dirty 20.
All right.
Is there a plant I can hide? Like a planet? I could like bulb myself up.
Yeah,
with?
you're like hiding behind one of like the corner pieces.
It's scary. You don't even
Uh,
try.
Derek just
Nope.
stands there.
I'm just
as,
going to stand there, hand on my gun, waiting till I can see who it is.
As Ever, Twig, and a Lua and Tua man that you don't know come around the corner.
I push
Okay.
the planet aside to reveal Arrow.
What the hell?
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey. It's
Ah.
you.
What are you
The
two doing?
radio host.
And
And this is Scarrick.
A pleasure to
Hello?
meet you, Scarrick.
Yeah.
He's going to give us a copy of the security footage.
oh,
Great.
boss.
This is.
Not necessary, but fantastic.
um,
I was gonna say friend in case you didn't want it disclosed to everybody, but
are you
It's fine.
Are you by chance the owner of this fine establishment?
No, just one of the curators for the main wing.
Breath of like relief. Okay. Well, to your colleagues that might deal with the mess in the lobby,
what did you do?
I didn't do anything.
I have a question.
I didn't do anything.
Yes.
Do you have any exhibits that cover? I mean, there's a lot of open warfare type stuff. Where's the more sabotagey infiltration type of stuff?
Those are sub wings within each of the wing. You really have to get past the main areas, which tend to cover mostly space combat, because we use
Yeah.
our large areas to represent that. When you get into the smaller rooms is when we go into more detail in various other forms.
Anything back here
In
along those lines?
You mean in this wing?
Yeah.
Are you looking for something specific, Scarrick?
Well, it was just a hunch, but
The camera thing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of, if you can get that footage, kind of like roughly side eyes, Scarrick.
Well,
No, I
can
got it.
put in. I'm sorry.
Wait, you got it?
Yeah.
Oh, all right then.
I thought it was missing.
I mean,
we found it.
I'm sure the hard copy that they gave out was missing, but they still have backup on their servers.
That's all I was going to pull off.
Oh well.
Well, if
Um.
you already have it, then
Yeah,
guess
the guys
we
in
don't
the
need
security
that,
office were
boss.
super helpful.
Were they now?
Yeah.
I'm
She rolls
sure.
her eyes.
I'm sure they were very helpful.
hmm
I
Well,
want to go look at
I'm
the crime scene
curious.
again.
I'm curious now. Why don't we go a
They
little
gave us
further
exactly what we wanted.
back into this wing and take a look at the footage?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a great
that sounds
idea.
like a great idea. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So you guys head into the wing. You see the crime scene again. It's still taped off. You don't think Munir's going to stop you if you want to go over there?
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna go
look
poke
inside.
around.
Okay. Go ahead and roll investigation. Are you looking for anything in particular?
I want to see if I can tell what the murder weapon was. And I mean, like where the body fell and the basics.
Sure. I would imagine Poyo probably gave you a report, so you're mostly able to confirm what was on there. He was.
Hey, nat 20.
You're pretty sure that he was sitting at his desk. He was shot twice in the chest with an energy weapon. Killed him. They haven't found a matching energy weapon of that plasma type in the possession of the accused. So like the murder weapon is missing. But
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. But they are reasonably sure that it was some kind of probably pistol by the size of the energy blasts.
Is there like a plasma mark on the wall or anything?
Nope, it doesn't look like it went through him. So that's one of the reasons why they're pretty sure it wasn't like a super high-powered rifle or anything.
I stand back up, back under the tape, and I'm gonna start walking around the weapons area looking for a plasma pistol.
While you do that, I guess you pull up your personal computer, your portable one, so that you can look at this footage, Skarrick.
Yeah.
And you remember the time of death from the report, so you can kind of move forward to pretty close to there. And as it just so happens, about 10 minutes before his death, when the first sighting of Volley was supposed to have occurred walking into the wing, the cameras shutter and get this familiar spectral effect over them, but don't show anybody. And that lasts for about 20 minutes, and then it goes away. And there's nobody the entire time, though the 2 gunshots are heard on the camera, like the 2 plasma shots.
Heard, but like the entire thing has just been like blanked over.
So
there's no camera inside the guy's office. So these are like the cameras from the exhibit hall.
Gotcha.
Outside of the office. So like you don't see like his door is cracked open the whole time, so you don't see anybody go in or out. You just hear the gunshots around halfway through this like weirdly filtered looking footage, and then the footage turns normal again.
So, Mr. Curator, anything in this war museum that can do something like that?
That would be some very potent technology.
Yeah. Hey, boss. So here's just a really quick hypothetical, because this is something that we're trying to piece together. Is there like, I don't know, any sort of knowledge that the deceased had of the symbol thingy Twig was showing you, the Veerux symbol thingy?
Well,
Wait, the what symbol thingy?
Oh
Wait.
yeah, I forgot to point that out when we walked through. So the eye symbol, it's a Veerux symbol from like their first invasion.
second invasion.
Second
shit.
invasion.
The one
Yeah.
at the war for this station was fought over.
Right.
The
Or the
same
station
one,
was involved
same
in.
one
Anyway,
we saw on the laptop down in the underground bunker.
Yeah, that one. Same one.
And it's, you mean like the Veerux?
Yeah, like in this wing right here. What this wing was about.
Like
Anyway,
the,
so the
these
deceased.
Veerux.
You
Yeah,
you
the
point over
deceased-
to a painting of a Veerux butcher in armor stained with blood, plasma axe driven through a skull, drinking from the throat of another person. It's of course listed as an explicit piece. Explicit.
Yeah, that's
Metal.
So
That
knowledge
Veerux.
that he would have, that no one else would have, or like, has anybody checked to see if anything's missing from this
Well,
wing?
I can tell you right now that Arkelian Modelia, he's one of the galaxy's most well-known experts in Veerux history. That's why he was going to be running this wing.
Okay,
The
so why are
Nakoran
they?
Historical Preservation Society sent him here specifically
Right,
Dot,
right.
with all of these
dot.
pieces that he's been studying his whole life.
I'm gonna
Dot,
do
dot,
I'm
dot.
gonna really quick, just take a lap with me and tell me if anything's missing that you notice. All right, I know this thing's under construction, but still.
Is
Sure.
there a
Still
computer
looking.
in his office?
No, it's been confiscated.
I'm gonna get on the
Still
net
looking.
anyway. See if I can find his email accounts.
You can find his email easy enough, I'm sure.
So
Yeah,
you're
I'm gonna look at all of his messages.
Okay.
So you're telling me that symbol, and initially what we had issues with, is a Veerux symbol. A Veerux symbol, and there's forces at play here that have gone after me, and which is already, strike 1 through 3, so already we're not on good terms. And now you're telling me that one of the leading Veerux experts on the station is dead, and turns over to Twig. If we recall correctly, some of the
Who's
best
just like staring at a rack of pistols.
some of the best prosecution people that are really tied up in the up and ups are trying to cover this up. But it's the Veerux?
Well, his
There's no guarantee that all of it's quite that conspiratorially connected.
I
but
know, but it's part of my show, so it's kind of how I think. But I mean, you're telling
not
me
broadcasting this. This is an ongoing investigation, Arrow. I will destroy your recorder.
ever please. I signed an NDA. It's not my first NDA. Just humor me here for trying to figure this out.
Maybe they didn't kill you because you're human.
That thought actually shakes Arrow up a little bit, to be honest. Like, that's a scary
She glances
thought.
over her shoulder at him.
he says, well, Arkelian Motelia is a half-human, half-Kyrov wireborn. So probably about as disgusting as it gets to them.
So it could have been what, like a personal vendetta? That's weird. Okay, never mind. You guys can talk conspiracies. We're gonna find out really quick if anything's missing here, because
Right,
that is
let's
my
take a look.
bigger fear, is that they took something.
We'll help. And so, yeah. So
Yep. So you guys start looking through some stuff.
While I'm on the network, I'll pull up the inventory and share it with everybody so they know what all's supposed to be here.
Sure, makes sense. And as you do so, Munir says, like, not everything's going to be out on display right now. A lot of that inventory is still in storage.
Where's storage?
Below the museum, of course, and the vaults.
Cameras down there?
Oh, certainly. Along with a great deal of other security.
Scarrick, I'm following what you're thinking here, so definitely we want to check that out.
I will say that when the murder was discovered, we did a thorough security sweep of all of our secure areas, and nothing was found disturbed. As you guys kind of look through Twig, as you're looking at these weapons, one of the weapons setups hanging on the wall, you notice one of them looks just barely askew on its hooks. Not quite like the others that are well hooked in, and maybe a little bit dusty from disuse or not being touched very often. This one looks like it's been moved or jostled.
She reaches out and she's going to press the round display indicator on the side of the mag.
A little like thing pops up with information about the weapon. It's a very old Veerux weapon, scavenged from the third era Veerux war that happened about 300 or 400 years ago, and it was a sidearm, considered to be a sidearm of one of the priests of truth. The weapon in particular is a very nasty subset of plasma weapons that can create concentrated bursts that boil organs inside of people's bodies without doing damage to the outside or physical clothing. Which matches with his death.
Is there charge in the chamber?
Yeah, there is actually. It's got an active battery in it.
Does it look like, well, I guess it wouldn't have it look like if it's been fired because plasma batteries recharge over time.
Yeah, there's no way to know whether or not it's been fired, but it is notable that none of the other ones have a battery in them.
Yeah, they got a live weapon in a museum.
Found it.
Found what?
The murder weapon.
Oh.
You
I'm
mean one of these
sorry?
things is in working order?
She has her arms crossed and she's just looking at the pistol. It's got a battery in.
Comes over.
I mean, that can't be
Munir.
right. It's a museum. They take all the batteries out of these things, right?
This is an active weapon.
Don't touch it.
Arrow's not laughing.
Mimir, I'm looking at it, and that plaque there, the pop-up, says that it boils organs. Is that right?
Yes, it's a particularly nasty weapon made to fight non-human biologics.
And that's what killed him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as I was made aware of, his death report showed that his heart had been literally cooked inside of him by a plasma weapon.
Well, we found it. Don't know what
We
the Peace
found it
Keepers
indeed.
are going to do that with that. But
Arrow pulls his drone up and just has it like take a photo of the weapon that you
Let
point
me
out.
see that camera footage again, if you don't mind.
Sure.
And you pull it up, and he goes through some of the early pieces, and will zoom into like where the weapon is on the wall, and he pauses it at a certain point, and zooms in a little bit more on the specific weapon, and for just a moment, just a flash, you can see a feminine hand grabbing the pistol off the wall. Not even worried about wearing gloves. It looks like a bare hand. And it's just this flicker of physicality. There's like a almost like a shadow corona of a shape while it interacts.
I'm going to isolate that image and run it through a spectral analysis to see if I can find any more detail to the figure.
You don't find much more detail other than the fact that like the proportions of the general shape of the person match Volley's. But what you do notice is that the energy signature that blips onto your readings when you look through that portion matches a weird energy anomaly that cropped up in the video feed of the Museum of Wristwatches that didn't seem like anything at the time, but might give you a timestamp to look at on that video.
Okay.
And when you pull that up and you zoom in on that video, you see a similar moment when a figure coroned by shadow holding a different firearm, being thrown back by a thunder wave, can be seen. And that figure looks just like the guy that you had, or at least shaped-wise, looks just like the guy that runs the fake kidnapping organization.
We saw him get blasted by a thunder wave, so I know what that looks like.
So, earlier when I said that these things might be connected, to be honest, I was kind of hoping I was wrong.
I'm gonna call Poyo.
Yep. You open up your phone to call Poyo, and Munir looks back at the weapon again and frowns, and looks back at you since you're closest to him, Ever and Fletcher, and says, somehow doesn't feel like a coincidence that this is the only gun on this wall that has the Eye of Truth on it. And he points to the small symbol of the eye with the markings on the top of the barrel. And that's where we're going to stop today's session.
Damn. Oh. They're connected, y'all. They're connected.
I love our evil fucking cannibal human invading empire. The fucking Veerux are the
Gross.
coolest shit.
They're so gross. They're great villains.
I was wondering when they were going to pop up.
Gosh. Okay.
Fuck.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well,
Holy shit.
So guys,
Which one of us is the thought?
Well, all of us,
All
clearly.
of us.
well, guys,
It's
thank
Arrow.
you so much for tuning in and listening to us. We will be playing one more episode next Wednesday on the 18th.
We're calling it the
of
2020
November.
finale because we've got stuff coming up virtually, and we know that the holiday season can get busy for people, so we'll be back after the new year. But one final episode for this year next week, so catch us then. I'm sure we'll do some shenanigans on the
Be a
channel
nice-
in the interim.
Oh yeah.
Among
a nice little
Us.
season finale, and then we'll be back up with full sessions again, as Audrey said, in January.
Yep. And
Um,
when those will start up, we don't know, but I can tell you where you can find out. You can check out our social channels. We're at Starwyrms on the Twitter, Spaceships and Starwyrms on Facebook and YouTube. And if you're not there already, you can come join us on Discord. There's a link below, and you can find us there.
Also, yes, we know that we don't have all the episodes from the backlog uploaded on YouTube. Aaron.
I know. Here's the thing.
Call outs on Maine.
I've been called out every time, and did it take me until basically our last session? Yes, it did. But there's going to be some really cool stuff coming over the next week because we've got a couple of extra little treats dropped in amongst the episodes. So stay tuned, and you'll be able to see some of that stuff there. And I guess without further ado, we wrap this thing up, and we see everyone for the finale on the 18th.
Thanks for
Yeah,
watching.
sounds good.
We'll
Thanks
see you
for tuning
then.
in, everybody.
Yep. See you next week.